What up, my dudes? Sec. What up, peeps? Sorry about that, just had to close my door. Not in time, as cousin Okri. Here's the thing, I'm always on time. I have never missed a scheduling appointment in my life. Ever, okay? That's a lie. I'm the worst at stuff like that. How's everyone doing? Having a nice weekend? A nice Friday. Vermintide. What up, Cenex? Yo! How's it going? My name is Beauty Bad. No. How are you, man? How is everyone doing? Hello! Someone pointed, rightfully so, pointed out in a comment that I hadn't been streaming for a while. So, how you feel about no new enemy types in Chaos Wastes? Yeah, a bit sad, not gonna lie. I was hoping to smash some demons. Yeah, but nothing much to do about that. Hopefully the maps and such will make up for it. Yeah, I think that's all there's to say about that. The new weapons. I just need new content, man. That's about it. I need new stuff to pull me back into Vermintide. I'm doing well. How are you, absolute legendo person? I'm pretty good. Hello there, Victor. Hey, just a question, but why are you not streaming on Twitch? That is a great question, Victor. I'm not streaming on Twitch because I would literally be afraid that they would ban me over nothing. Like, I don't like censoring myself. Like, if it's in the first 30 seconds of a video, I'll bleep it out just for monetization. But like, I'm not the kind of like I'm not going family friendly for money. You can be damn sure about that. I like to say what I mean, and yeah, I have some very strong opinions when it comes to free speech. And I'm fairly certain that I have been streaming on Twitch before, but that was back when they were more loose about things. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So literally, I'd just be scared of putting a bunch of effort into growing my channel there, and then just having it all taken away. So that's primarily why I'm streaming on YouTube. And hello there, Von or Vu? No, Von saying yo. And don't worry, we'll get into game momentarily, but I'd like to say hello to everyone first. And hello, Mark Lock. Master Murderino. But other than that, I've been pretty good. I was a little bit sick last weekend, but hey, what up, Belinda? My friend, how are you? Good to see you, man. How's it going? And thanks for the compliment, Mark. I spent literally for the first time in I'm not kidding here, okay? For the first time in probably 3 years, I bought new clothes, which is I think it's not that I used to be someone who spend way too much on clothes, but for me that's a long time to go without spending anything on clothes. So. New content is new content, so in the bigger picture, it'll be a positive. Yeah, for sure, exactly. Clusterfuck like Winds of Magic, being a little down. There are also some missed opportunities. Beer or potions on Ranger Wet? There are only wrong answers. That's a really good question. I mean, come on. We all want to drink beer along the way, right? Let's be real. Back when it was a 33% chance, maybe potions. But now that it's been reduced in value, I think the beer has to be the only logical option. Anyways, let's I don't know where it's best here. I think that's good. There. No. Streamlabs. I can see my chat. That's usually useful. I said Lego person like the bricks that kill you when you step on them, not legend. Lego? Okay. Did you guys know that in Lego, yeah, the company Lego that makes Lego, I assume you all know what that is. When you've been working there for 25 years, you get a solid, I think it's 24 karat, it's extremely pure, like golden Lego brick as part of your bonus. It's true. Like just a single Lego brick, you know, one of those with 8 dots on it. Like not the small one, but like the slightly larger one of those, right? Not the squares, but the rectangles. Time for some brew sharing. Oh, wait, that doesn't look right. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot to, my bad. I forgot to change my resolution. My bad, 1 sec. Like, why does it look like that? But that makes perfect sense. And now it's gonna look all stretched. And trust me, I have to, it's so annoying. I have to do this like literally 10 times a day. There we go. And now it should look normal. Sorry. There we go. Lego's from Denmark, so that's the only title I could come up with to do with my nationality. Wow, the burn. The burn! Insert jazz music here while we sort out technical difficulties, and now we're good, we're good. We're all good. While Vermintide is loading, you can look at my beautiful face. Actually, why is Vermintide not showing up? Oh wait, maybe it is. Let's see. There we go. It was working! Woohoo!
Good evening.
Head and face hair on point today, though. Is it? Like the only thing I've done is that I've shaven like my neck here. That's about it. And my hair is just the way it always is. Like a little bit out to all sides. My other games already had new content this year, while Vermintide 2 is just about to, yeah. Oh wait, because of a quiet drink video, I could also make a roast about alcoholism. Yeah, that's true. I mean, this is a Smirnoff with 24 karat gold inside that I bought at the most uninteresting place in the world, the airport. Like, I don't know if you guys can see, but it has like... It's totally pointless. I only bought it because like, the weird part is the taste is like cinnamon, which sounds really weird. Like, I'm not gonna drink it because I only bought it as like a showcase item, right? I mean, it wasn't even that expensive. It looks way more expensive than it actually is, just to be clear. First, like butter cookies and Lego, being tainted by chronic alcohol abuse. I like learning new language and immediately starting learning the swears. Those duty-free purchases, exactly. Also, I need to move my mic because it's literally blocking the bottom of the chat. There we go. Looks like Goldschlager. Now, let's see. Who do we play today? Taking nice and relaxing, starting with a witch hunter Capitan? El Capitan? That's always nice and chill, low effort, high value. pirate now. Let's go with... Oh yeah, that's right. I need to grind his new hat. They added the feather hat, finally. I was wondering why the hell the feather hat wasn't available for so long. But now you can actually get the... this one, the feather version. So, grinding that. I don't want to host. Don't tell me no one's playing. It's Friday. Come on. They're doing fortune. Oh, okay. Let's crash just for the heck of it. I haven't warmed up or anything, but just for the heck of it, let's crash the Fortunes of War. Just because they're doing a 3-man Fortunes of War, man. We can't leave them. We can't leave them hanging, right? That would be a dick move. Right. And just hope that we don't have lag today. And Skaven armored. Where the hell is my Skaven armored bow? There it is. I'm blind.
Carillion, about that
No, it's gone.
sojourn in Castle
No.
Vells.
Gone. God damn it.
We've nothing to discuss.
Hey, what up, SnowRunner? They were out of feathers, that's why. They, that ding, I was about to say dating, that ding. For example, like the LMGs, so much better known, invented than Lego. What? I mean, Lego is pretty, full up. Joining game. Okay, there we go. I saw a meme about like Denmark versus Sweden, Lego versus IKEA. That's pretty accurate. Might I offer a bottle of spirits in these trying times? I mean, I also have like a bunch that I bought like on vacations in the background. Like a bunch of, there's like some 90%, like with a 9 and a 0, absinthe. With like a skull on it. Wait, did I join this game before the host? What? That makes no sense.
Good evening.
How was... Wait, why am I host? That makes even less sense. What the fuck? What is going on, Vermintide? I saw that there were games. There were clearly games that were available and without a witch on a captain, you see? Oh, he was even from Denmark. We'll join that one. Oh, that was the wrong one. Oh, yeah, cancel. I'm retarded. There we go. Go, 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 go. A lot of Danish games. Another one here. Come on, Vermintide. Don't leave me hanging, bro. Vermintide, what are you doing? Epic music while we're just in the lobby. I mean, I'd love to put in some epic music, but copyright. So I could put some connection timeout. What? Okay, maybe I should restart the game. I don't know. That's fucking weird. I'll just restart real quick. Sorry. I don't know. Connection timeout. What the fuck? I can put in some music meanwhile from my folder of Vermintide audio clips. Here, YouTube, Vermintide audio files. I forgot where it was. Where was that? Music. There we go. Let's insert random music clip. Okay, that's not very relaxing. That's not very relaxing. Nope, not very relaxing either. That's not music. Where the fuck is all that? Where's all the chill stuff from a quiet drink? No, okay, no, we're not doing that. like have soothing background noises of wildlife. Like a background war going on. I think I saw some pictures of women that were of question. I know nothing of that. I have no such thing. Would never have any such thing. You saw no such thing. I honestly, I don't care. Does elevator music get copyrighted? That depends on the tune. That horn gives me PTSD. Sorry about that. I did not mean to activate your PTSD. That was never my intention. Real shame the Barding songbook never came out. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Like all the music that I've been using in videos, like the most recent one, which, you know, have a lot of swearing in it, but that's all from from the game here. Permanent background wildlife noises. Yeah, let's try one more time to join his game. If the connection times out again, then I'm gonna try a different game. Like, it just seems really weird that that should be the case. Yeah, clearly his game is screwed up. We'll try another game. Is it too much to ask, Vermintide? I just play the game. Come on! Connect in the game session. Cannot access playment. Okay, there we go. Finally! And let's stop the wildlife noises.
It caught our attention that the Rotbloods are digging for something. Turns out they're after the lost
There's a void in my heart which can only be filled by releasing that damn songbook.
Soul of a long-dead Chaos Lord.
How keen are you on the April Fool's video ideas some community members have suggested? By some community members, are you referring to anyone particular?
Alicia has found a way to deal with it. For now, at least.
Nahum Takashi 94, you're no better for looking. I'm just saying. To the start of this. Oh. Shit, maybe I should just focus here for a moment. Hold on a second. I will read your... I'll do the start of the scene. There any chance we'll see Carillion as a lore master of Hoth for her first class? It's a lore master. We already know what the next class is going to be, most likely. Oops. Like, there was, for those of you that don't know, there was a leak about the elf, and I was gonna make a video about it at first, and then I was like, I'm just gonna see if the community manager, I'm just gonna talk to him real quick, because I didn't want to fuck up my relationship with Fast Yard just before Chaos Wastes is released, and I'm gonna have to ask for free stuff to give away. Wow, the delay. Anyways, I asked him, and he couldn't really tell me no, which is totally fine. Like, how do I put it? He obviously didn't actually tell me they would mind. It was only slightly referred. Like, I read between the lines. It's probably the right way to put it. So I didn't make it, right? But then someone asked me, but who do you really want to stay true to, Fat Shark or your audience? I was like, obviously my audience. So I'm probably going to make the video anyways at some point. But I was thinking about doing it today, actually. But I'm just going to write Hedge first, because he's such a nice guy, and just let him know ahead of time. And then I'll probably make the video on it tomorrow. Because, like, I was thinking, I even asked Mark, like, you know this, I asked you. Like, I wasn't sure whether to make it or not, right? So I don't know how far they are with the hero, that's the thing. And I also didn't want to, just... Like, if you hype it up too early, before the release... Oh shit, we're so fucked. Because I seriously have lag right now. If you hype it up too early, then, I don't know, then it might hurt sales, right? I also don't want to do that. So I don't know, I wasn't sure. Stay on their good side, but... I'm hoping for a special idea. I advertised to the celebratory bladed in Chaos Waste is better because it's topical. I mean, as for the April Fools, I again, just nothing happened when I swapped there. I think it's my OBS. Maybe I should be streaming with Nvidia instead. It's like, the problem is Nvidia just has a shit overlay, right? Like, I can't really do anything about the overlay. But it's much more fluent. Like, every time I have OBS open for recordings, the game lags. It's like, my PC should be able to do it without it lagging, but lags every time. I don't know why. And Misha, in terms of like starting out late, like I live in the night, so it's like I'm probably gonna be awake until tomorrow. Holy crap, that patrol, yeah. But I'm considering if I should, I don't know. It's also not fun to play when you're lagging. Not that bad here. I swear to God, I'm glad I make YouTube videos. Because every time I stream, I feel like there's issues. Every fucking time. Like, for some reason, the only game I've been able to play without lag while streaming was freaking Cyberpunk, okay? Just take a moment to think about that. The only game I've been able to play on stream without lagging, no, Among Us, okay, that's a lie. Among Us and Cyberpunk. Like, what? How is this more demanding than freaking Cyberpunk? I don't know. You can relate? In the night in our little northern realm is that we're stuck with the Americans and the lovely 200 ping. Yeah, that's true. It's probably not gonna help, but I would rather not lag.
With a score of kin by my side, that champion would already be dead. But with you lot...
No sense being downcast. What's a battle-crazed rotblood between friends?
My ears tire, lumberfoots. And the pack sworn haven't even started caterwauling. Let's go.
You can almost see it. Just a tiny bit more, just a tiny bit more. It should be good. Hopefully it still looks the way it's supposed to. Oh yeah, that's the one that doesn't matter. You can't change that anyways. Go like that.
Sleepy mayflies. We've work to do.
To be honest, around 120. Yeah, it's not the ping. It's not the ping. It feels like it's my graphics card. That's like it, because it's also happening when I'm recording, like just recording a video with OBS in Vermintide. It's the same. Like I feel like I had a crash recently, like where my PC just went, you know, on a day where I had been using it a lot. To be fair, I had been using it a lot that day, like rendering videos. I've been recording. It had been pushed. Let's put it that way. But like I don't know, it's just Vermintide and Valheim. I have performance issues in both games, and I have like legitimately like the 12th best graphic card you can buy for money. Something like that. Or was it 16? And again, just wow, we're so dead. I think it was 16, but still, that's still a pretty good fucking graphics card. And I still can't play fucking Valheim without freaking lag. Let's just stare at him until he grows uncomfortable. Black screen? What? Is there a black screen? Oh, great. Okay, what? Why would there be a black... You see? That ends, right? Because clearly, I'm in the... There's still... Yeah, there's... Oh my fucking god. And now my phone is ringing. I swear to God, I'm telling you, everything... That's my ex-girlfriend. Why can I not just have a normal Friday while I could just stream some games without... If you lost connection for a moment, that's because my phone rang.
Turns out that the Pact Sworn have been kidnapping folk
Oh.
from villages in the Grey Mountains, right in the shadow of...
What the fuck?
That's right. Castle Drakenfels.
Sounds fun though. Yeah. I appreciate all the we got.
The powers
I'm sorry about that.
loaded our path
High evolutionary. All I see is darkness. What's your bandwidth? Is it actual lag or more like input latency? Yeah, it's input latency. And my bandwidth is not great because my phone is my internet still.
The Pact Sworn are likely heading to Bloodberry. We have to beat them there.
And like I keep just dreaming that one day they will actually fix the fucking fiber optic network. Cause I'm like
Bonuses is a map in block.
in fucking Copenhagen, so you'd think that they would fix. Yeah, I don't know. What's the stream without some tech issues? Yeah, I guess.
Village lies before us.
But I feel like I have nothing but tech issues when I'm streaming for some reason. I mean, I guess it's a little bit of both now that you're mentioning it. Just a little bit of both. But I guess if we focus just a little bit here on the gameplay instead of like I usually do and focus way more on talking in the stream, then we should be able to make some progress.
That's down. Look out! Left wing gun. Come on! Up here!
They said that fixed the fiber in Copenhagen 7 years ago, and it wasn't until last year that they actually did it in the outer regions.
Not really.
Yeah, but mine is still broken.
Vendors to these places.
That's all. Sounds good.
There's nothing to fear.
Mine is still broken.
Nice.
And the best part is how when you search on all those websites, you know, where it's like, check if you can get fiber. Oh, I did not hear that. And on all those websites, you'll type in my address and it'll say, yeah, you can get fiber. I'm like, great, I can get fiber. Then you order fiber. And then two weeks later, you'll get an awkward email or phone call being like, by the way, you know that fiber that you could totally get and paid for? You can't actually get it. Great. What can you offer? A speed that's just about the same that I have on my phone's internet. That I'm already paying for. So yeah. I was also mad the other day because I received a text message saying that I've already used almost all my data. It was like it wasn't yesterday. It was like at the end of last month. Towards the end of the month. And it said you have almost used, like you've used like 80% of your data this month. And I'm like, but I have free data. Like, I ordered unlimited data. That's what I ordered. That's literally what I told the guy. I just want unlimited data. And like, oh, so I called them and like, apparently, oh yeah, but that's because actually what we call unlimited data is actually in under like a fair use policy, and that fair use policy says that it's unreasonable to assume that you would use more than 1 terabyte a month. And I'm like, it's not that I need more than 1 terabyte, because like, I use a lot of data, but like, a terabyte is fine. Like 99.9% of the time, I'm only gonna use slightly below that, right? But that doesn't matter. It's the fucking principle. Like, the agreement was unlimited data. I don't give 2 fucks about your fair use policy. Like, go fuck yourself. Like, the agreement was unlimited data. That's what I asked for. That's what I thought I paid for. I didn't pay for 1 terabyte. I paid for unlimited data. Like, motherfuckers. That's lying in my world. Yeah, you gotta live in Gladsaxe. How the fuck did you know? That's creepy. Oh, how the fuck did you know that? How do you know where I live? Or so, otherwise they'll take you to recruit 40 plus household before they dig the fiber down for you and you hook you up. Oh shit, maybe I should focus on this ISP bandwidth. Whoops. I bet you it'll be in fine print, but yeah, I know. I'm sure from a legal standpoint, everything is totally fine. It's just in my world, that's called lying. Ouch. Felt like I know that. I mean, not that I'm surprised, just to be clear. Like, it doesn't surprise me at all. After all, it is a UC, which is a dog shit company. Come, kitty, kitty, kitty.
That's a leech of no mistake.
Come here, kitty, kitty, kitty. Ha! Get wrecked, motherfucker. Ha! See if I can take the aggro here. It's safe. No. Oh shit, I don't have my ulti, and I got aggro. I might be dead. Streaming Among Us. The sushi knife. What? Is there even such a thing? It probably is. Hey, exactly. I'm like bullshit. Then call it 1 terabyte. Like, how hard is it to market as 1 terabyte? Right? It's like, it's 1 terabyte. There's a clear name for what you're trying to sell, right? Like, there's an infinite difference, you know, between 1 terabyte and unlimited data. An infinite difference. So actually, your description that you're selling it on could not be further from the truth. It's literally as far from infinite as possible. Because all numbers are equally, like all numbers are an equal amount away from infinite. Like a billion is not closer to infinite than 1. Okay? All specific numbers are infinitely far away from infinite data.
Don't stay up.
Not available on my street, but 2 blocks down the road, they got, yeah, exactly. It's so fucking stupid. My older brother that literally lives like 3-minute walk away. He has fiber. It's like, it's so unfair. It bothers the shit out of me because like I use 20 times as much internet as he does. And how can he get fiber 3 minutes away, but I can't?
We've had a great meteor make a mess. Now, I don't have to tell
It makes no sense.
falling from the sky
And like then you ask the internet company about, so when are they gonna fix? When are they gonna fix? And they know nothing. Of course, they know nothing. They're just subcontractors. And they know nothing. And like usual, this stream has turned into more of just me sitting here ranting about stuff than actual gameplay. The gameplay is really just the background. Really, this is all about me ranting about stuff.
Trust Lorna, as long as he's not expounding the wisdom of Eldin. Proceed, but remain vigilant. Even if this is a wild goose chase,
I have
there will
LTE
likely
and works
be
very reliable.
danger afoot.
Yeah, Willy Wonka, exactly. Like, fucking fix that shit. Hello there, hats and snares. Well, I hope you didn't hold your breath. But I'm glad to have you here, my friend. I know it's been a while since I've been streaming. I've been wanting to stream more, right? But then every time I turn on my stream, this shit happens, okay? That's the thing. Every time I stream, it's like just one massive technical problem. And that's why I haven't been streaming that much.
Have a care, shield rat.
It's like, I feel like, unless I'm like in a really good mood, I would go crazy from all these technical issues. I feel like I've had 1 or 2 successful Vermintide streams ever, where like just from start to finish everything was just working. Like the first thing is that then I have to stream with Nvidia instead, because like I don't know, it just requires less. Like OBS is like insanely heavy on the CPU, and like despite having a really good CPU, I don't know. I don't know what other streamers do. If I'm being perfectly honest, we should not be going this way, but that's too late now. Pop the PC into a shopping cart and slide down to your brother's, download all the crap you need, then creep back to the crib and pretend like nothing. Like, my internet is good enough for what I need to download. The issue is like uploading videos, streaming. That's where I feel like I have an issue, right? Like, when it comes to just download normal, it's no problem. Like, I don't mind that it takes 20 minutes to download a movie or an episode of something. Like, that's fine. Even a game, it's like, it's not that big of a problem. Like, I'll have it in the background while I sleep. My PC's on like 24/7 anyways. They upload on YouTube, that way if something goes wrong, they always have the other platform to secure their income. Yeah, that's true, that's true. Again, as I said, I used to be streaming on Twitch, but I feel like there is this much chance that I ever get partnered on Twitch, okay? This much. Because I literally have a video called The Twitch Armageddon, in which let's just say I go very critical on Twitch. I very, very critical. I'm pretty sure it's one of those videos that YouTube has quite intentionally. Like you most likely haven't seen the video, because the video was very unlikely from an algorithm's standpoint to ever be shown to you. So unless you went in on my actual YouTube page and clicked on it there, or saw it from like the post that on my Discord when I make a new video, then you're very unlikely to have seen the video, simply because I used the N-word once in the video. It like not in a bad way, like in a completely objective manner to describe the problem with Twitch. So like not in it's not like I'm calling anyone that, and I never would do that, just to be on like just to be straight with you, clear. But for that reason, that video obviously had no ads on it, which is fair. But videos where you do that, that's very bad for the algorithm in terms of actually being shown to people, which is understandable. Like, I have no problem with that. But in that video, I'm very critical of Twitch. So it essentially starts out with a meme. It's like a Vermintide clip, and a little meme about their most recent update with banning the word simp, which I just thought was absolutely hilarious, but also so dumb that it's hard to comprehend how dumb it actually was. Like, it's so dumb. It's really just, it's so dumb. And like, as far as I'm concerned, it's not that, like, I mostly stream for your sake, like my audience's sake. Because I'm gonna be honest, it's not that I can enjoy streaming from time to time, but I find streaming extremely exhausting. Like, that's the truth. And like, if I were to, like, it's not so much that, like, I get the point that other streamers do it, like, they have, you know, 2 different platforms, so if one goes down, they can still pay their bills. But here's the thing, I can still pay my bills regardless, for a decent amount of time at least. Like, I couldn't make a living off YouTube as it's going right now. Like, even right now, like, I still lose money every month, working 10 hours a day, right? But that's just the way it is if you want to follow your dream, right? So that's fine. It's like, I look at it as a business, right? You have to do a lot for a little now, and then hopefully one day you can, at a certain point, you can work a little bit less for a lot more. At least that's how I look at it. But in terms of the streaming thing, so it's like, so yeah, I don't want to be on Twitch because I don't like the people in charge of the platform anymore. I love the platform, but like, yeah, I mostly just stream for your guys' sake. It's yeah, because I know people enjoy a stream once in a while. and I can enjoy streaming as well. But as I said, it's something that, because I'm an introvert, I find streaming extremely exhausting. It's like the best description I've ever heard of the difference between introverts and extroverts is that introverts, they wake up with 5 coins, and then every time they do a social interaction, they pay a coin, right? And at the end of the day, they're out of coins. Whereas an extrovert wakes up with 0 coins, and every time they have a social interaction, they get a coin. And at the end of the day, they're all full of energy because, you know, they gain their energy through social interactions, right? Whereas introverts lose energy through social interactions. It has nothing to do with, you know, you can have a big personality and seem very outgoing and still be an introvert. And I think that's the case in my case, at least. That's my best assessment of myself. Oh my god, that would have been an experience. Oh wait, clearly I missed something, sorry, but I'll read chat momentarily. But I just want to make it, you know, just slightly further than 10% into the map. Shit, there's a stone there. And we'll need to find some ammo. Considering the input latency, I think we're doing pretty well. I get videos from channels I'm already sub to, mostly by the notifications/subscriptions tab. Yeah, but the algorithm has changed so that it's no longer a guarantee. If you're only subscribed, you don't necessarily get a notification unless you've clicked that bell icon. I watch a lot of streamers, but they're all on YouTube. Twitch just feels so juvenile to me. Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's like it's so like the double standards on Twitch. That's what's bothering me, right? If you want to be a PC-friendly platform, by all means, I can understand that, but you cannot you cannot ban the word simp, and then in the same sentence, so to speak, just promote the shit out of sexual content to 12-year-olds. Like, I feel like you just cannot do that in the same stroke, and have me be like, yeah, that's not a problem, right? You know what I mean? It's like, at least if you're gonna be all high and mighty when it comes to your policy on words and like censorship, fine. But then you better be consistent about it, right? Because like banning certain people for completely absolute harmless cases with no malintent. Why does it always end with a conversation on Twitch every time I stream? But yeah, that just makes no sense. And then on the same platform, you're like literally promoting songs that use those same words, right? You're promoting, yeah, as I said, extremely highly sexualized content to fucking 12-year-olds, right? I mean, it's like, what the fuck? It's not a gamer platform anymore. It's like, it's literally just bikini girls in hot tubs. What the fuck is that? Like, how is that? Like, how is that Twitch content? Like, make a separate site for it, right? I have nothing against, as you saw earlier, like, very little dressed women selling stuff online. All power to you, right? But that's not Twitch. That's not gamer content. Like, how are you putting that in the same site where you have Minecraft and Fortnite content, right? It's like the double standards make no sense. Emote spam in big channels, yeah. That's another thing I totally agree with. It's like I don't know what the perfect solution for it is, but I totally agree. It's like at a certain point, if you like a streamer and he gets big enough, it's like at a certain point, it's not only impossible to have a conversation with the streamer, but it's also impossible to have a conversation with anyone else because the chat is literally just spamming so hard that it's impossible to read or at the very least send any messages. And yeah, you were casually soloing Nerdcloth while talking about racism. This must be tired today. Yeah, that's true. I remember that stream actually. That was actually a decent stream as well. That's true. You use on a bounty hunter infinite block reduction, rapier with parry, and alternative shot. Sorry again if I missed something. Lost contact with Hoth. Oh shit. Well, that sucks. Well, I can catch up with chat then. Let's see here. Wait, hold on a second. Let me just catch up with chat here. I'm hoping for a special idea. Only missed. You can always host yourself and let them be stuck with yours. That's true. Well, lacking isn't by far the only issue Cyberpunk is known for. No, that's true as well. Have a glass of juice and just take a breath looking at screens, so don't say anything cool or funny while I'm gone. No breathing either. More is difficult. Is it actually like... Broad topic, it's really interesting how far you actually get up north. The more up north you go, the more interesting it gets. Yeah, that's true. That said that... Okay, maybe I scrolled a little bit too far, sorry. They consider an insulting word. I'm a Christian, so I can't talk about myself as a virgin or virginity as a virtue. It makes me furious. Yeah, exactly. It's a shame Dive didn't catch any real traction. Was a decent alternative? Yeah, that's true. What is this? Come on, Twitch ain't bad. Otherwise, how are all those untalented big poop girls gonna make a living? Well, who would be wearing a bikini? Yeah, Twitch's censorship policy have gone so self-consuming, like the snake eating its own tail, that the virgin word censorship isn't stopping offensiveness or being rude. Is the party after? Yes, I was playing Kata, but then we disconnected for some reason. Don't forget my girl Alicia. There we go. Anyways, back into Vermintide. Let me just grab some water because I talk so much that I get incredibly thirsty. While we're at it, let's put over some water for some coffee. Whoops, there we go. Oh shit, wait, what? How am I in a game? What? What the fuck happened? What the?
All this distance.
Crashed.
And
Wait,
little
what?
hint of why.
But how are we still in the game then?
But I shall not say it again. But Loner isn't often worried without reason.
Do they have like a new... What? Seems to happen pretty often. For me, it usually happens when I attempt Legend Convo 5 times in a row. There was an issue close to the... Oh, that sucks. Greater good. That really sucks. Sorry to hear that.
The shield will stop me.
Aha! You want another, Crookie? Here, ammunition.
But yeah, I love the platform Twitch. But the people in charge are handicapped, to say the least. And that would probably have been offensive on Twitch if I'd said that, right? You can't use the word handicap as a description for stupid people, because how do you think actual handicapped people feel then? I'd be like, actual handicapped people with a brain are probably aware that I wasn't referring to them. Like, I mean, it's like, I mean, come on, right? Like, seriously, it's like... It's such a broad term that yeah, I don't know. I feel like if you want everything to be a reference to yourself that you can get like, you can, yeah, feel feel offended by, then, whoops. Then you're always going to be able to find something that offends you, right? It's like, always. That's not hard. And it gets particularly annoying when you have people that aren't even the group, the marginalized group or whatever, that then get offended on their behalf. And I'm like, gotta be kidding, right? Like, this dude Jimmy Carr, a comedian, he did the best joke ever, right? Because he was like, he made a joke, first he had established that this exact point, like, at least if you want to get offended, at least you have to belong to the group that we're talking about, right? And then he made an extremely offensive joke about retarded people, and then stated after, and in case you didn't notice, that means if you were offended by that, you're retarded, right? Because if you get that, I thought that was amazing. Like that was such a good way to like spin it. I thought that was really an ingenious way to screw people over. The thing I wrote out, which thought makes sense. It's basically how banning a word virgin is super dumb to Christians because of how we use it. It's just dumb in general. Wait, how many assassins did we just spawn? What the? Is it just me, or did I just hear like 5 assassin spawn sounds? Like, what the fuck? Maybe only 3. Jimmy Carr is a savage. Yeah, he is so savage. I absolutely love that dude. Yeah, he makes jokes that even make me for a moment go, ooh, right? And that takes a bit. Let's put it that way. The host's internet doesn't seem to be the best either. Did a 360, just saying. Ooh. I had this game like a week ago or something, where like we've been playing Kata all the way through Blight Reaper, and then right before the end event, the host just says, "Gotta go," just GTG, and then just leaves the game. Like no chance to respond, no nothing, just like gotta go, just leaves. Like fucking dick move. Like. Can't take away people's right to be assholes. Yeah, that's true. That is true.
A gun rat comes for us. Stand clear of that cook. That bandmaster will trouble us no more.
It's the best when people walk out here and then like it drops down right behind them. That's always funny. Why do I feel like they're following me in an extremely... Like, this feels... Something about this team feels off. Like, do they know I'm streaming or something? Because I feel like they're following me like bots. Like, have you guys noticed, or is it just me? Like, I could be wrong, but I feel like they're extremely close to me all the time. Like, I'm not complaining. Oh, shit. Like, I'm not complaining. It's just... That's very unnormal. Oh my god, I was like, why am I not moving forward? It's just that's... What? Oh, drink. How did I not take more damage than that? Oh shit. That is a lot. Oh, the lag! It's not making this any easier. Or input delay, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Let's go help the other guy. Yeah, I think he needs it. Oh shit, that was not what I meant to do. What? Didn't die? Oh shit. I have 1 shot left. Ammo. I could really use some ammo. last shot I had.
Not bad for a fellow with
Oh.
one eye.
What trait does she run on Rapier? I run block cost reduction and crit chance with Swift Sling. And hello there, Kyle. Sorry, I just had to focus there for a moment. Apologies for falling behind on chat again. Hey, ammo. Nice. That's what I always dreamed of. This is exactly what I wanted for Christmas.
Sigma, the skies. Little wonder the beastmen were drawn here. What a mess. Get worse. Those warp storms.
Like, here's one of those places, as I mentioned in the video, where the assassin is guaranteed to come from the front. Unless... No, actually. Did we walk far enough? Yeah, we did. Damn it. Oh, okay, that was a bad bomb. Holy shit. I actually thought there were more minions there.
You need patching up, Ricky. The patch
Oh, the lag. Oh. How am I alive? I don't know. New World Order is great, but it's a bit too real time, but very funny. Yeah.
another light leech.
What? I was about to... Are you not die? Did one of those miss? Ooh, speed pop. Nice.
Aha, a potion.
I was a bit sad that I fucked up my epic barrel play. Right, you know, where I threw it down like... I accidentally used my ulti, which pushed them away. Otherwise it would have been a perfect barrel. Ah, cannot move. What was I talking about earlier? Oh yeah, they were bots. That's right. And Kata trying to interact with chat, boss mode. Yeah, exactly.
Gasrat's dead.
But like that kind of goes back to what I said earlier. Like, that's what I enjoy about streaming. It's like my best day in Vermintide when I'm not streaming is always gonna be better than my best day in Vermintide when I'm streaming. Like always. Because I have a different focus when I'm doing that. Like I can go into like tunnel vision mode where it's just, you know, me and the game. I don't know how else to describe it. But I'm never going to be able to do that same thing while I'm streaming. I'm too like aware of the fact that I'm streaming. And that's fine. But yeah. So I don't stream for that, if that makes sense. I stream because I like to talk to people. I like to, yeah. I think it's nice to actually have viewers here. And I enjoy asking questions, and I enjoy talking about stuff, as you've probably noticed. Ah, shit. Also stuff other than the game. Ah, I couldn't switch. I love talking about stuff that makes me sound way smarter than I am. There's actually, which reminds me, there's actually an interesting scientific study that was done, which had really compelling evidence. That showed that statistically it is highly likely that on average people that swear are, on average, again you can't use this to judge an individual, but on average intelligent people swear more than dumb people in relation to IQ. So if you're just as much of a degenerate as me, pat yourself on the shoulder. I would do like a little solo pat, but you know, there's a spawn of gears here. There we go. Ha, get blocked by the tree. Your specials seemingly always come from the front for some reason. Always have a plan when you're dodging a boss around, so that you know you're dodging to a place where you can circle back around and rejoin your team. Oh shit, I'm out of ammo. Oh, double assassin and I have no ammo. Try to mark it so that he possibly can spot it himself. Oh yeah, nice, nice. Everyone is up. Oh, nice. I actually thought everyone was possibly screwed there, but nice. I mean, one person just died, but... Oh, that was a sick hit. If there's any stuff in here. Hoover is a really cool career. Yeah, agree. Chad Huntsman with a longbow. Yeah, Misha, I only agree with that. That is exactly right. Definitely my favorite Hoover class. He's just so relaxing to play. It's like I've talked about it before. It's like this really weird combo of both being really relaxing to play, yet being really tryhard and like hard to learn. But once you get it, it's like he's actually really relaxing to play. Cause you just distance yourself from everything and like go invisible and shoot stuff. You go flatline? Nice, that was a good throw. That's a good tactical throw. Straight into... Oh, ammo. Nice. But like, I gotta give them props here. Like, have you noticed at any one time, anyone like rushing ahead? Because I haven't. That was a bad shot. Oh shit. Oh shit. Didn't want to get pushed. I thought it was better safe than sorry. I was scared that we would get pushed all the way out to the edge. Guess we don't have anyone with a shield, do we? No, oh, he does have a shield. But still. Oh, no. Damn it. Missed that timing. Oh shit. I couldn't actually dodge the second time. What? Oh fuck. This is no good. No! And then it was on my failure. No! I tried so hard. I got so far. I find that the Kata community is infinitely more chill and team-minded than Legend. Yeah, that's true. That is true. It's just because the divide is so large in Legend. It's like there's a group of people that think Kata is too hard, and so they don't play it, and they just keep playing Legend for like hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of hours. And it's those people mixed together with like people that have been playing for like 40 hours and just unlocked Legend, but their friend told them that it was cool to play Legend. And so it's like everything in between that, right? Which, when you have that large of a disparity, it's like... Wait, what? How did it just restart? What? 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 What just happened? Like, this is on the official realm.
Not that I hold with magic, but I'm glad not to have walked you all this way.
Like, that's weird. Yeah, exactly my words, Marklock. That's weird. Haven't had that happen before, ever.
Seems a shame to die so
Like ever.
Either pull me up or funnel ale
Wait,
down
I mean, I'll show those guys how to kill yourself. Because I know for a fact that if you want to kill yourself, this is where you do it, I believe. Oh, no, and I, of course, fucked up the jump. That was karma right there. Why do I have a feeling it's gonna happen again? If it would happen once, why wouldn't it happen again? If there's a restarter on... Oh, no. Didn't happen. That was so weird! Like, what? Like, what the fuck? Wait, it was after the score screen. Which means it could still happen again. Which makes even less sense. Because the actual mod that does it doesn't do it. Like, it does it before the scores. That makes no sense. I have no idea what just happened.
Don't stay up too late. I've got work.
No. Wait, am I host? Why am I host? When did I become... When did I become host? I swear to God, I'm so confused. When the fuck did I become the host? Ah, it was probably after the host that did that thing, and then they all migrated into my... I didn't even realize. Oh my God. I'm so dumb for a smart guy.
Can I interest you in any mayhem?
Or vice versa. I don't know. Could be both. No. I want to play some elf. I recently fell in love with the strength potion. What in the hell? Only realized 2 days ago that the strength pot actually affects magic damage too. Totally renewed my love for Sienna. Oh yeah, that's true. It works with bombs. It even works with barrels. I have a video in which I go into all those details. I think it's one of the top 10 tips videos. I think it is. Could be wrong, but I think it's one of those. So like essentially raw power affects all damage that's yours, that comes from you. And that goes even for a barrel if you're the person who has the last hit. That's in Sweden. That should be fairly close by. What's poppin'? What up, Smarty?
What way
The
several
laser pointer with dot damage and strength pot literally melts.
sounds awful.
Yeah, strength pot and
No, not
the laser dot, that definitely deals a shit ton of damage.
you, lucky
You can melt a boss down like that.
all at once because you'll need provisions on your way to destroying the wretched thing. We don't actually know if that lump they've raised in Helmgart is a real screaming bell, but better safe than sorry.
Bogger! I thought it might be Pullman's. It's only a bug.
Well, no pressure now, right guys? No pressure now. Oh, that's a... Well, if it is, then he can solo this whole... Well, that's amazing, huh? Now there's like no pressure at all whatsoever.
Watch out! Gas!
Can't say anything. Kashaki Doom and Armored.
A gutter runner! Are you ready, Mayfly?
Flames, they bring warp fire to the battle.
The shadows hide you.
But I appreciate that people are like, yeah, then he can just solo this whole cannon, no problem. That's exactly what I like to hear. Chilling, I wasn't really interacting much. Now I'm here 100%. Well, glad to have you here, my Mr. Circle. It like goes into bursts of like sorta lag and then sorta fluent and then sorta lag. Or like not lag, but like it can't keep up. Like something I don't know what, but like there's something that's unable to keep up completely, right? Are you ever going to do like hardcore solos? Go fuck yourself, Beans. Beans is one of my mods, okay, so I can say that. I mean, he is only 13, but still, go fuck yourself. Ever gonna do hardcore? Motherfucker. What I missed in chat, I know it comes out in April, but that's about it. Any other news? I don't. Oh shit. No, I don't think there's any other news than it coming out in. Whoops. Oh, wait, that's my. Sometimes that mod does that. But yeah, roughly, as I understand it, roughly mid-April. Oh shit. Really hard to time dodges when things go slower and then faster and then slower and then faster. No, 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 no! Shit, that was dumb. We should not. If you get this boss, then you don't want to jump down, right? Because then you're trapped in a place where there's no circle that you can really go in. Oh wait, are we playing Twitch mode? I haven't even noticed. I didn't even notice we were playing Twitch mode. I didn't notice until now. See, that's about how focused I am on the game when I'm streaming. I swear to God, I hadn't noticed we were playing Twitch mode until just now. But I guess it's fitting that we're streaming and playing Twitch mode. That should make it interesting, at least. Oh shit. Technically, we should be killing the rat ogre first. All the lag, better not fuck this up. Ah, all the aggro switches, stop it. Oh fuck, he did the 3. Ah, well, that didn't go well. He did a 180 right in the middle of a fucking lag spike. Oh my man, I'm the 69th viewer. Oh, Mr. Cleveland. Oh yeah, 69 viewers. Guys, keep it there, okay? Keep... Nobody move! No, 71 viewers, no! 2 people. You have to get... You're voted off the island. I'm just kidding. Welcome to all the new people. And now even the small bit of confidence I have for Kata is gone. Yeah, I know what you mean, man. I have not been playing a lot of Vermintide recently at all. Like, literally at all. Simply I've been playing way too much Valheim. That game's addictive as fuck. Let's be real.
I'm not gonna lie. Bergenhafen has
Everybody panic! Panic button! Now! We don't have 69 viewers!
been getting worse. Plague, sickness, and disappearances. The usual.
Don't really know about the fences lore. I'm a 40k guy, but demons should not be walking the world, even on places like Cold Chaos Waste. Ah, okay.
Take your best
Like,
gear.
I don't know much about the lore. I just heard someone mention JPG. I just heard someone mention demons in relation to Chaos Wastes, so I just assumed that that was reasonable. Total War and Vermintide, so I suck equally at both. I mean, I also play a decent amount of Counter-Strike these days. Started playing in December, so I've been playing for like 3 months. Just reached Master Guardian Elite, so I think that's pretty decent. You think about the fact that I'm only playing like one to 2 games a day at most. And despite only playing 1 to 2 games at most, I have my goal is to be global elite by the end of the year. I don't know if I'm gonna make that goal, but that's my goal. So far, I think it's going pretty well. Like, I've been ranking up faster than I thought I would. Let's put it that way. And I had been missing, like, I definitely noticed I had been missing that PvP competitive spirit, right? That you sort of have in Vermintide, right? That shouldn't actually be there in Vermintide, but is nonetheless still there, right? Let's be real. Like, even though I'm capable of not caring about green circles, on the inside, like on the deep inside, I still secretly want them, right? Like, we all do. Like, let's be real. We're able to, like, you know, when you're a sensible player, you're able to go beyond that and be like, I don't care, I don't need them, right? But you still kinda want them. Like, you're able to not farm them and play as if you didn't care, but you still kinda want them, right? Like, if someone asked you if you prefer having them or not having them, you definitely want to have them. So there still kind of is that little competitiveness, but I've been missing that. I used to play a lot of competitive MOBAs. Dota 2 and Heroes of New Earth. IG ults and teams. Did the full science physics mode that I do on Vermintide now. I used to do that on MOBA games. I just didn't make videos about it. Whoops. Wow. The lag is definitely still there. What's the timing on that dodge? Grab the potion. And those were some terrible shots. Okay, no. Wait. Oh, someone already grabbed it. God damn it. hate it when there's a marked special, and really there's something between you and the special, but you can't actually see that. So you're like trying to shoot it, but you realize, oh, there's a door in the way. Oh shit. Game is fine as it is, we don't need new enemies, just a meta shake, I'll add some new maps. Yeah, in a sense, I would say that I agree. But it's always exciting with new enemies, right? Because it wouldn't be one new enemy, that would, you know, be a lot of new stuff. And the great thing about it is you'd have to take sort of all the old stuff in the context of the new enemies, right? But I don't blame them, because like, Beastmen have received so much hate that it's like, that it's hard to blame them for not making new enemies, like for real. Like, I've never understood why people hate Beastmen so much. Sure, they were tuned a bit wrong in the start, but I feel like Beastmen now aren't, like, I don't feel like they're, like, ruining my games. Like, there are some people that are like, Beastmen are just ruining the game, right? Like, there's nothing good about them. I'm like, I don't think so. Like, I like the fact that some of them are charging. That means you actually have to think about your dodging when you're trying to solo, right? When you're trying to survive something, you can't just dodge. You actually have to time it in the context of elites, which is new, right? Or was new, so to speak. Not gonna lie, did that just based off the sound? No. It's also so hard when you're not using a headset, you miss all sorts of sound cues. Like, it's so much better to use, like, every time I play CS, I put on my headset. Have enough strength to destroy a wooden beam with a wooden arrow. Oops. Read up on the little waste. It's really the Eye of Terror concentrated on just the North Pole. Oh. Still sounds cool. I hate the Beastman spear animation. It feels awkward compared to the animation that I can always time a dodge on. Yeah, I can see that. That's been given some, yeah. Yeah, that's true. Why is he... Oh, he wants to fight here. I see. Sorry, I'm only half paying attention because I'm talking to the stream. Down to play anything, just send a friend. I'm Caden on Steam and a pick of Greed. Anyone wants to play, I'm always looking to play. Ah, nice. Glad that you're finding new friends. You can join the community Discord. There's always people looking for groups. Yeah, quite often, I'd say. And thank you, SnowRunner, for promoting the Discord. Ooh. We have a nice little tightly packed community. That's how I like to look at it. No, it's not the largest server. Whoops. But pretty much everyone there is awesome. That's how I look at it. Like, so all the boring people, they immediately leave because they get offended. So what you're left with is a group of only awesome people. And I'd way rather have less people and have them all be awesome than you know, inclusivity. Because that's way better for finding groups as well, and just in general means the server is a lot funnier. Because like people actually post funny memes. Oh no, did I DC? No, I didn't. Why did everything look like it was frozen in place for? Was it just me, or did everything just look like time and space had just frozen for a moment? And maybe it was just me. Lightning strike! Oh, there was one. Ouch. Oh shit, I'm dead. Oh no, fuck. Goddamn gas rat came at the wrong time. Not today, lol. Talk to the death. Apparently it's going to be somewhat of a rogue-like game mode where you can find weapons and upgrade them in between minimaps. What? Wait, what? Do you ever play with other streamers? I've actually tried to do that recently. I tried to coordinate with Mookshar. He's one of the streamers that I talk to a lot. And I actually asked him if he wanted to do a Chaos Wave stream, like when that comes out, like a duo stream. So we can send some YouTubers to Twitch and some Twitchers to YouTube. So I haven't done that before, no, not like intentionally at least. But I'd totally be down to do that. Like, again, if I'm streaming anyways, again, it's not that I'm like I'm a very outwards going guy, like in real life as well. It's just that I'm never relaxing when I'm streaming, is the way to look at it, right? It's like, I'm using energy right now, I'm not gaining it. There are some people that can literally, you know, if you've been streaming since you were really young, for example, if you've been a publisher since you were like 10 or 12, and there are people that can stream for 12 hours straight, and the reason, and just keep going with full energy, and it's because they can relax on cam, right? That's the thing. They can literally sit and be like, take a chill pill while streaming. I can't do that. At least I don't know how, let's put it that way. But I'd love to stream with someone else. Also, I forgot that I put over water. Well, that was nice that you took that. I also needed ammo. Remind me after this game that I need to get my coffee. Coffee? Got to check over here. Oh, nothing, of course. Let's get close in case we get the curse of comradeship. Oh, thank God we didn't. I hate curse of comradeship. It is the worst. Oh shit, I hear a strangler as well.
Hold fast, One Eye. One Eye is lost. Hubert's gone. Where have you gone? Straggler, bring it down. Don't let it touch me.
I think we're good.
Over here, mayflies. Look at that hardware.
Sorry for not reading chat for a moment here, but just gonna have to focus for momentarily here. I hate it when you get inaccurate because the fucking... Because he hits you, then you become inaccurate with your shots, and then it's like impossible. What? What was that? Help, 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 help. There. Thank you. Thank you.
What in Drakira's name is in this bottle?
Okay, I think we're good. Whew. Good, 100 force. Oh shit. I got art, guys. We'll be fine.
right.
Gotcha. I'm the stream community moderator for Turin, Spartacus, Janet, and Sodic, so I figured I'd throw your name around for them, spread some awareness, and potentially set something up with Zotek. Yeah, I'm down. Like, god damn it, like, community moderator for that's a lot of people, Misha, not gonna lie. So anyways, do you want a job? No. Clearly you have moderator skills. You're hired!
What are we waiting for? Burn it all!
Oh shit, what am I doing?
Stay together, Lumberjacks. They mustn't divide us.
Gonna be interesting how they handle the decrepit statue of most weapons, and they're barely able to make new designs because mechanics like to fuck the toaster. Yeah. To be fair, I would struggle to find new weapon designs as well at this point that are actually both interesting and sort of make sense. I mean, obviously, except for dual wield flail, which obviously would be the most epic weapon of all time. We all know that, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Legend of Total War plays Vermintide occasionally too. Perhaps try him. Yeah, but he's a pretty big dude, isn't he? Like in terms of size. I mean, I guess you wouldn't know unless you asked. I guess you could say that much, but I don't know if I would feel comfortable asking someone that much larger. But like, and hello there, Xandark. But I'd be all down, Misha. Like, sign me up. Spreads like wildfire, embed moderation, creative assembly streams. It's been a crazy roller coaster. Legend plays a ton with Zodiac as well, so that could easily sell out. Nice, all nice. Awesome. Oh, fuck yeah! And like, if it's a problem, then don't worry. I can be PC if it's needed for their sake. Like, I'll do that. I just don't want to do it for my own viewers. but like, I don't mind if it's like if someone is on Twitch, then that's totally fine. I'll respect that, of course, just so we're clear about that. I'll just make sure to let everyone know that that's why I'm then being PC on that particular date.
Come on, this way.
But I think it's a really good idea actually, because that's also just another incentive to force me to stream more, which is a good thing. So if I actually, you know, have an appointment, a deal with someone, then I will keep it. Whoops. Unless it's with one of my own mods.
We are short.
Just kidding. Lifesaver, just oh, shit.
I do hope that Sigmar is real. Stunner salvage. Circular cannons. Looks like you lost one eye.
One second, chat. Just whenever shit is going down and I'm like, okay, we could lose here, then
Hear that? The stomping great blood attacking.
then I focus on the game. Also, chat, it's your job to remind me that I need coffee after this match. Oh shit, that's Crystal Combat ship.
Can't keep going.
Fucking hate cursive combat shit.
Where your wind now, sorcerer?
Come here, assassin. Come here, assassin. Oh shit. What? Oh, okay. I thought it was because he hit me. I was like, no, that was a delay there. That was not fair. But then it was an assassin from behind.
I walk.
Or was it from... Oh no, it was probably from up there. I'm not just wasn't paying attention. I dodged that. Oh, I'm dead. Ouch. Oh shit. No, no! We were going to win this one. No! Saltspy gets a War Priest career. They need to introduce one-handed hammer for him as well as a tool with hammer and shield. Oh, that'd be a good idea. Greater good. Hello there, 47 Ronin Gaming. Lance would be... Well, Lance, that would be kind of cool. Legend is great, but he doesn't collab that often with other people. Flail or Lance would be sick. Bretonnian Flail. Oh yeah. It's coffee time. Be right back.
At least the sun is shining, eh?
Thankfully the water was still hot-ish from before, so it boiled pretty quickly.
Sounds good to me.
There we go. Gonna come out with the next DLC. When do you think they're gonna come out with the next DLC class? Well, I'm kind of split on that actually. I have two theories. The first is that it's gonna come out like way down the line. Like we're talking like maybe a month and a half at best after Chaos Wastes, or I think it's gonna come out right in the start of April. So like in a week. I think it's one or the other. I don't see them releasing both at the same time. I could be wrong about that, just to be clear. But I think it's most likely gonna be like a decent amount of time before Chaos Waste, or a decent amount of time after Chaos Waste. But that's just a guess, really. Like, if I'm being real, I have no fucking idea, right? But I mean, the hero that was leaked did look fairly finished, right? Like as a concept. I don't know how much optimization they need to do, or how much like balancing. But I know that there are players beta testing the hero right now. Like there are players, and have been doing so for a while now, testing the new elf. What is this Chaos Waste? It's been a while since I've looked at news. Chaos Waste, that's the new DLC that's coming out in roughly 2 to 3 weeks. Oh, a fire whip. That's actually a great idea, Scarlet. Absolutely love that idea. That's a great idea.
A boon, but it seems our enemies may have got one
I still think Unchained needs a dual wield fire weapon as a exclusive only for Unchained.
old elf temple nearby. Take a wander, have a gander, and put a stop to whatever it is they're up to. We've a lot of work to do. won't we?
Like a flaming crowbill and a flaming flaming crowbill with a flaming flail. That would be fucking epic. I just moved the coffee so can't hear it as much. It was like literally right next to the microphone when I was turning in it before.
So, mates, which way to this temple? Searching for Helgi Umgak. Is this what my life's come to? Why the Bretonian dance? Keep your feet on the ground. Hatred fuels my purpose. It shall fuel you.
What do you mean, what the fuck? I thought you noticed. Why, thank you very much, my friend. Much appreciated. Actually, like, are there a lot of like fake party knives going around?
I think I've seen at least one.
Oh, there is? Well, that's interesting. I was not aware of that.
Keep moving. Look and weave, Dory.
It's alive and it has a microphone.
Established now. It's time.
Thank you very much, guys. Really appreciate that. I always cringe a little bit when people say, I have fans. I'm like, on the inside, I'm like, I have fans. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. It's like so weird. It's like, oh, I have fans. Who would have thought? It's still kind of unreal. Like, despite the channel not being that large, but I'm still like, just the people use that word. I'm like, I have fans. Like, it sort of tickles my inner 10-year-old. I don't know how else to say it. Like, yeah. Oops. Oops. Definitely not you. Used to hate this map until I learned how to cheese final. I think a lot of people hate this map. I really like it, but I think it's one of those maps that is just really difficult in quick play because it's so easy to split up, get lost. I'd sign that petition. Wait, what petition? A fire whip? Yeah, right. Shield staff. Or like maybe a burning shield for Unchained. I forgot who had that idea. It wasn't mine. But I think that was a good idea as well, actually. Like a flaming shield that like sets stuff on fire when you block. I think that's a good idea. I definitely, I can see the potential. Especially if you had like a really tanky new Sienna class. I don't know what the new Sienna is gonna be, but whoops. I hope it's not a fire mage or fire thing, but it certainly is, right? Because it's like you couldn't really make one that wasn't fire related, because if you did, then all of the other weapons and staffs wouldn't really apply to that class, right? It kind of has to be related to fire, although I think it would be fucking awesome if we had a new source of magic.
Anyone need a healing draft?
Ah, that's still very hot, holy shit. Not gonna lie. Party at his school reunion? What? So I make videos where I slay rats in various ways and people watch them. How's your life going? Wait, what? why are we talking about like school? my potential awkward school reunion. Whoa, shit! That was a lot of. But yeah, to be clear, this is never what I imagined I would be doing, like ever. Like until I started doing it, like until a year ago actually. Until a year ago in December, a bit more than a year ago in December when my like channel really started to like gain some tension, like gain some like traction was the word I was looking for. And until then, I never even like thought that this was like a possibility. If I'm being perfectly honest, there was never a moment in my mind where I was not gonna finish my university exam. Until one weird day when I realized, wait a second, like if I'm not happy now, like right now, then when the fuck am I gonna be happy? I think it's hard to explain, but I think this is one of the most important things that you could possibly learn about the human mind and about yourself if you want to be happy in this world. And I don't understand why it's not taught in school. Hey, video pain donated $5 through super chat. You do realize that donation came like right at sort of the equilibrium, like right at the pinnacle of an important sentence. I'm kidding, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, man. Love getting better than my friends at Vermintide 2 by watching you play. Thanks, but you're so welcome, my friend. Really appreciate the $5. Thank you so much. You have a wonderful day, my friend. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Where was I? Oh yeah, one of the most important things, because I realized the reason I actually jumped and was like, okay, I'm gonna go full-time YouTube, is because I realized I wasn't like, it's not that I was particularly unhappy, like it's not that I was depressed at that point or anything, but I wasn't happy either, right? I just realized that, you know, I woke up in the morning and like something as benign as like having gone a little bit too late to sleep the day before could ruin my whole day. Like, because I'd have to force that zombie, like, oh, you have to get up, you have to go to school. And like, I just wasn't enjoying myself. I realized I just on a daily basis, I wasn't, it's not that I didn't have happy days, but most days I was like, meh, you know, I just wasn't feeling like I was doing what I was supposed to be doing. And I think happiness is this really fleeting thing for a lot of people, right? It's this thing that's gonna come in the future. For a lot of people, I think a lot of unhappy people think that one day you'll finish your degree and you'll be happy, or one day you'll meet your wife and then you'll be happy, or one day you'll get this promotion and you'll be happy, or one day you'll have this much money and you'll be happy. But that future never arrives with that mindset. Trust me. It's like like true happiness has nothing to do, like assuming you have your basic needs met, that is to say you're not going hungry, you're not, you know, things like that, right? But true happiness, above that, if you're not happy, like if you have what's the most essentials, right? You're not poor for wherever you are in the world, then real happiness has nothing to do with those things. Because like, if you can't be happy without a material possession, without having access to some other thing, then happiness is this fleeting thing that you're constantly chasing, where once I get that I'll be happy, and then you have this momentary sort of, oh yes, I have this new nice car, I'm happy for a week, and then the excitement fades, right? So like, and I think we all have that thing where we're like looking for it, right? Where it's like once I do that, once I get that, then I'm happy. But that, you can go through life like that, and the future will never arrive. That moment will never arrive. If you don't, like being happy in the present moment is a skill. It is something you learn. It is for some people it's innate. Like some people are just the person they are. It's just generally feeling happy. But I think for a lot of people, especially people who think too much, of which I am definitely in that category, I overthink everything all the time, 24/7. Can't stop it, right? And for me, I think it's something I had to learn. It was a skill I had to acquire about how to frame the present moment. Again, like two identical situations are completely different depending on how you look at the situation. Like going to the movie theater. you can, like, you can think about that as, oh god, oh my god, this is gonna be so boring, right? But if you think that, you're actually causing the thought pattern that is unhappy, if that makes sense, right? You could also be like, oh, we're going to the movie theater to see, you know, and if you know nothing of the movie, then that's a bad example actually, because maybe you already know what the movie is. But the point is still that, like, how you choose to frame the thing you're doing, whether or not you want to do that, it could be a boring thing, but if you choose to frame it positively, I'm not saying that you're gonna sit as if you're, you know, just, I'm feeling good while in school, right? That's not what I'm saying. Like, be realistic. But the frame you put around it, the frame you choose to apply to the present moment, largely determines your experience of the present moment. And that is something I don't understand that we don't teach people in school. Like, I don't get that. How you look at things makes, like, a huge difference of how you actually end up experiencing those things. Like, a huge difference. In myself, uni starts next week and I can't wait to hate it. Only need 4 more classes and my thesis, sunken cost fallacy. Yeah, great or good, that is exactly the term, the sunken cost fallacy. For those of you that don't know that term, it's essentially when you, college is a good example. Let's say I was 2.5 years through my theoretical university degree. Let's say that and I realized this is not what I want to do with my life. Let's just say that realization just struck, right? But then I'd be like, but that would be a waste, right? Because, like, I've already gone 2.5 years, so it kind of be a waste not to finish it, right? Even though it's not what I want to do with my life, then the sunken cost fallacy says that you end up doing something you actually don't want to, because the logic you're applying to what you want to do is that, oh, all of this other time would have been wasted if I don't do this thing. So that'd be like saying, like, all my school years, all of those would be wasted if I don't finish this degree, right? Which is not true, first of all. But secondly, it's the wrong way to look at it, because then you're looking at the present to determine what you want to do in the future, right? The fact is, if you're in the wrong field, if you realize you want to go to a different field, you should just do it. The sooner the better, right? But, like, you should think of what you want to do now when you decide what you should do for the rest of your life. And yeah, and it's hard. Making change is hard. Humans are not good at change, not in large quantities. Humans are good at small amounts of change. It's always hard to make a drastic decision with your life and just do it. That's really hard, really hard. But I just realized that I'm one of those people that could wake up at the age of 60 and realize, where did life go? Shit. I never really, like, I just realized that could so easily happen. I think that happens to way more people than you think. Like, you know? Like, once, you know, I just need that promotion, and, you know, it's just, it's hard to do things that are drastic in life in general. Especially things that you've always thought you'd do, right? I always just expected, yeah, school, university, because my teachers told me I was smart. My parents told me I was smart. So they all said that, yeah, of course you're going to go to gymnasium, and of course then you're going to go to university. It was just implied in everything, you know what I mean? It was just, it's not that everyone told me that I had to, it was just sort of always implied in everything, and so I thought that's exactly what I wanted to do, because of course, what else would I want to do, right? That makes sense. And it was what I wanted to do at one point, but that sort of shifted at a certain point in my life. I don't know when, but I don't know if any of this makes sense, but society isn't set up to make happy people. It's set up to make unthinking cogs in the machine that are happy to live in the sleep, eat, work, repeat cycle. I mean, yes and no. Society isn't really set up to do anything when it comes to... It's just, societies are made of people, right? And like... Oh, I don't know. But again... It's a tough question, right? Because obviously, if you have a job, there are, of course, I can totally understand that you're unhappy if you're in a job where it's like you can't really leave the job because you have bills to pay, and you have a wife, a family, and like if you know the moment you quit that job, if there's no social net, social security net in your country, then it may be impossible in that sense to leave whatever it is you're doing, right? And you can feel stuck in that. I can totally understand that. But even in that scenario, I'd say fucking do it. Like, Because otherwise you're just never gonna be happy. Then you're just accepting that you will never be happy. But maybe that's a valid thing to do if it's for the happiness of people you love. That's a valid choice.
Never tried to claim it.
Not to my knowledge.
But I think in general, those you love will be happier in a scenario where you're happy as well. I think the risk is worth taking, for sure. Like, and like, not everyone wants something in life. That's another thing to realize. There are people. I remember I was told about this guy at a gas station in the city I grew up in, right? And it was in the newspaper that there was this guy who'd been working there for 40 years as like a normal employee. And I remember thinking, but he's not a manager. No, he wasn't a manager. He wasn't even the sub manager, so to speak, of like this gas station, right? And I didn't understand. I thought to myself, but why? Why? Don't you think? I mean, shouldn't he have been offered that? Like what is it? Why is it that he doesn't do that? I mean, you'd think that would be an option on the table after 40 years of state employment. And then I think it was my mom who told me, yeah, but you need to realize that not everyone wants that in life. Not everyone wants that responsibility. Some people are perfectly happy being in a position where there is no pressure on them in that sense. And I never thought of it that way, because like that's totally opposite of me. But I get it. That's total, and that's nothing wrong with that whatsoever. Like, do whatever you have to do to be happy. But if you're not happy, like if you're not happy, and I think a lot of people feel unhappy in school, right? Not everyone, but a lot. And like, just ask yourself that if you're not happy in your best years, when are you going to be happy? If you're not able to structure happiness in the years that are supposed to be the most fun and exciting in your whole life, then when are you going to be happy? Like, I'm not saying you should quit school. That's not what I'm saying. Like, that's just to be very, precise. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is I think it's something you want to start working on. Notice what makes you happy. Notice what makes you unhappy. What bothers you. Do something about it, because it's so easy not to do anything about it. Like, that's what I did for, like, I don't know, 22 years. I was just content with how I was feeling all the time. Oops, there we go. So, like, do something about it, because if you're not happy now, chances are you're not going to be happy in the future. The irony of your comments is telling. Wait. I need to see that. Yeah, sorry for not reading chat, but I just wanted to actually not lose here for a sec. Oh yeah, I got it. Whew. Thank God.
There's a chaos warrior nearby.
I mean, not gonna lie, that was pretty well played, considering I was also giving a lecture on human psychology. Whew. Wasn't sure if I would hit that timing. Oh, timed it. That's the bomb. That's for me. Oh shit. Oops.
Ooh, that looks painful, Victor.
I give you that. Your capacity for slaughter makes you a useful ally. Have one less reach.
Incoming. Blow out of the way.
Oops. Sorry for not reading chat here for a moment. I'll get to it eventually.
To me, winds of magic. We'll show that fire rat how it's done.
Where did everyone go? The health pot there, I need that. Really? Oh, they're over there. Okay. Thought they left me for a moment.
Keep whatever ammunition you can.
Just join. Oh shit! I did not mean. Why did I minimize the game? Ah, go back. Yeah, sorry, I can't scroll in the chat right now, so I can't read anything that's older than. That's a rather bleak view of society. Society is not set up as anything. It has the most ever been set up over many years in governments and monarchies. I mean, it is set up in a sense, but like at the moment, it's largely set up to maximize profit. Depending on the country you're in, but like, sure, there are systems in place, right? But at the end of the day, it's people that are in those systems, right? But there's no doubt we're all reaping the benefits of the wealth of people that lived before us. Let's see here. Has undergone a lot of drastic changes over the past 200 years. There's no real continuous between and before the industrial era. No real continuity between before and the industrial revolution and after. I mean, all lines are arbitrary in that sense, right? Like where you draw the line of a fluid process, that's really a spectre of things that are happening. At least just shoot right after teleporting. There's quite a big difference between Legend and Kata, yeah. Definitely. Also, this is also Twitch mode. Civil law in Europe, which is left over and had to be rediscovered as well. Yeah, the thing is that we're not the problem, as far as, like, I think at least, that you can say objectively is a problem, is largely that we don't teach, like, we teach the subject human psychology, but like when it comes to elementary schools and stuff, we don't really teach kids how to deal with their own thoughts. Like, how to, whoops, sorry, now I'm gonna have to focus again, god damn it. That was a bad bomb, could have gotten way more value out of that than I did, but, like, a lot of people self-identify with the voice in their head. They think they are the voice in their head. But they're actually not. That might sound like a very confusing sentence if you've never thought about these things. But you are not the voice in your head that's narrating everything. If anything, that's the left side of your brain, which is sort of the... it's the part of your conscious... It's a part of you, but it's not you. There's a difference. And, like, it's the part of you that sort of tells you that... you don't really, like, you're fat. You need to start working out, right? And it does it in a negative way because of evolutionary reasons. It's hard to talk and play at the same time. Due to evolutionary reasons, whoops, it makes sense to have something that's pushing you to do stuff, right? But it's doing so quite often, especially if you let it take over, in a really negative way. Because it's entirely possible to be as motivated, but wake up, look in the mirror and say, god damn it, you're beautiful today. You know, could use a few pounds, but god damn it, you look nice today. Like, just the difference between how do you talk to yourself when you're in the mirror, because frankly, most people's inner voice, right, it is coded to be way crueler to yourself than you would ever be to another individual under the same circumstances. You know what I mean? Like, a person you might look at and be like, oh, you don't look like, you're not ugly. But you'll tell yourself you're ugly, right? You'll tell yourself, wow, how was I that stupid? But a complete other person in the exact same circumstance, you'd be like, ah, no, you couldn't know that. Like, that was an easy trick to fall for, or whatever, right? We talk to ourselves in a generally very negative way. And so if you, again, there's good things about that, because it can motivate us, but there's also an unnecessary, whoops, element of, like, that leading to certain forms of depression. And there's no easy way to fix that. It's like becoming strong, right? It takes, like, just knowing that doesn't help. You have to go to the gym again and again and again and again before results start to appear. And it's the same with a positive mindset. It's the same. It's like you have to, at first, you have to be consciously aware that you have a negative thought pattern. That's the first step, right? You have to notice that really it's hard to be in a bad mood for more than 30 seconds unless you're constantly reiterating why you're in a bad mood. You're constantly going like, oh, why is she always such a bitch? I mean, seriously, she's always, why would she do that? I mean, you're constantly, and that was a funny example, but you get the point, right? It's impossible to be mad for more than 30 seconds unless you're constantly reiterating why. And so learning to break that thought pattern is the first step. And learning to replace it with something positive is another step. Learning that every time you look yourself in the mirror, you have to be aware of it, force a smile and tell yourself, God damn it, I'm awesome. It sounds so dumb, right? It sounds so dumb. But it works if you do it for long enough. Because at first you have to remind yourself, you have to sort of become aware that you're in a negative thought pattern, and then you have to become aware that you should replace it. But it becomes unconscious at a certain point. And at that point, you just have a happier mindset. I don't know, that's the best way I can explain it. It's worked for me, at least. I'm not pretending to be a professor of psychology, because I'm not. Let me make that clear. The only field in which I have any certification is physics and theoretical physics, but it seems to make sense, and it's been working for me at least, and a couple of other people that I know. So again, if you're depressed, consult a doctor. This is not medical advice. Because other people... Whoops. Yeah, sorry. Sorry for not reading chat as much, but it's really hard to not die while reading chat when you're playing this cat with Which mode on? Especially when everyone seems to be expecting me to carry. That doesn't make it any easier. Oh shit. Oh, thank God I managed to... Fuck. There we go. We must get to the bottom of Brain Wizard confirmed. Indeed, let's explore... explore what? No, why is the Dirty Cycle not a psychologist? I don't know. Do you play any other games in the Warhammer mythos? I recently tried the Warhammer 1. Also, I'm definitely going to be playing Darktide when that comes out. I would be playing Warhammer Total War. I feel like I'm going to wait until the next one comes out because I feel like I'm so far behind in that game. But like, I think it's an awesome game. I've played other Total War games, so I know I like the sort of concept and the genre. But no, I actually haven't. So that was a very long answer to a short question. Oops. It's not me, but it's not Scarlett Johansson either. So does it really matter in the end? Wait, what? Oh yeah, that's another... it made me think of a really good point. I don't know if that's what you were talking about, but another really good point is that one of the problems in the modern day and age with social media is that we're comparing ourselves to a global market of people rather to just our next of kin, right? It would be normal in a sort of more basic human existence of 100,000 years ago. It'd be normal to compare yourself to your nearest social setting, which is your peers, your family, everyone around you, which is maybe 50 people at most, right? And you're unlikely to find something negative in that context, right? Because you're not going to have people statistically that are like extremely on any end of the spectrum overall, right? So it's way more healthy and natural to compare yourself to those and maybe say, oh, look at the Tim over there, god damn it, he's a good fisherman. I should probably step up my fishing game a little bit, right? But you're not going to have like the world champion in fishing, which is a horrible example, but you get the point, to like compare yourself to, right? Which would not be healthy because you're never going to be that good at fishing. Terrible example. Running would be a better example. You're never going to be as fast as Usain Bolt, right? So comparing your running to him is not a useful example. That can only lead to you being sad about how much you suck at running compared to him. And in the same way, you shouldn't compare yourself to Scarlett Johansson, because that's not a realistic ideal in terms of like, those are not, like, the only person you should be comparing yourself to is your former self. I know this is cringe because it's a movie quote, but I think it was a really good quote that said that true nobility is being superior not to your fellow man, but to your former self. And I think that there's truth in that. The only person you should be better than at any given time is yourself yesterday. That's what matters. Because that's progress, right? Like, if you compare yourself to Brad Pitt, good fucking luck, right? Like, in terms of looks and those sort of ideals. Ping, wait, let me see here. Sorry, wait, I'm just gonna minimize the game because I just wanna follow up on chat here for a moment. Because I feel like I missed a lot. Telling you're smart is one of the most terrible things that can happen to you. Studies show that those people often do terrible on following you, especially when they meet people. Yeah, Gretagut, I get what you're saying, and you're totally right. I was put forward in classes too early. I was really young. I was already the youngest in my class at the time where I got pushed up a year. So like, which sort of also made the social bit a bit hard. And then when I got into gymnasium, I was super lazy. Like, not gonna lie, because I felt like everything was easy. So I did absolutely nothing. I had no effort. And I had a lot of physical absence, which is also why I eventually got, I had to start over. I got kicked out, even though I had good grades. People interested should check out cognitive behavioral therapy. Sounds complex, but it's just how to reframe your unproductive negative thoughts into productive helpful thoughts. That sounds really, really useful. The one unit starts next week. Join the clubs. Marshmallows while telling stories to kids. 40 years of stealing gas and money from the register is gonna get you way further than a silly position as a manager for Q8. Yeah, it was actually for Q8, Misha, now that you mention it. True story. Wait, the irony of your society consists of 50% people with IQ below 100, so don't know how much you wanted to ending up this way. Yeah, that's true, Xandark. Even though you think it was ironic, I don't think it was, because 50% of people are always going to have an IQ less than 100, because literally the definition of 100 IQ is the average. So not necessarily, because actually you can have a disposition in like, could have like just 10 people that are really smart. So not necessarily half of the people are going to have exactly under half, like under the average IQ, but in principle it's probably about 50%. Let's see. Here never reaches the bottom of chat. Motherfucker. Yes, I will know it's a capacity. Else for any measure reason is something I don't agree with. Yeah, you don't become happy. All studies show that if you make more than $55,000 a year, then increases in happiness based on income are so tiny that you don't become happy, right? Those are no longer the things that matter to happiness. There's nothing wrong with hierarchy if it's justified. Wait, let me see. Any higher position somewhere else for any measure of reason is something I don't agree with. I mean, that depends on what you mean by higher position. Not me, but yeah, exactly. I don't think there's anything wrong with the hierarchy to the extent that it's voluntary and sort of justified. It makes sense. Like, only one losing the chat after closing it on mobile. I don't know, Johan. I'm almost at the bottom. I eat because I'm unhappy. I'm unhappy because I eat. Can't wait to watch your quick guides on Darktide. Thank you very much, Ron. That was the voice in your head, isn't me? Scared. Back to talk of society's capitalism. Highly encourage the comparing of people's self-worth. It doesn't value just being. I said it was ironic because IQ doesn't equate to intelligence and never has done. It's not a meter of success. Well, that's both true and wrong. Like there is no such thing as a direct measure of intelligence, and there are many types of intelligence. And what I mean by that is the social intelligence, for example. That's a form of like what is intelligence? Intelligence is a matter of information processing in a physical system. That is the definition of intelligence. And you have different softwares that run on your CPU, right? And one is social, for example. And as for IQ, saying that it doesn't equate to intelligence is not accurate, because it actually does equate extremely well to a narrow type of intelligence. Like, for example, your ability to cognitively follow a bunch of objects, or like pattern recognition, which is a type of intelligence. And it is extremely good at measuring for those, like extremely good and very precise. But that doesn't equate necessarily to other types of intelligence. So it's not a direct, it's not as to say that just because you have an IQ of 140, you're always going to be smart in every aspect of your life. But it does show things like your ability to learn new skills, so that there's definitely a correlation between your IQ, assuming it's measured properly by people who know what they're doing, and success to some degree. Like income, if you, not success, income. There's definitely there, you can equate IQ to income fairly, not perfectly, but there's definitely a correlation, I would say. But what do you think of the new elf career going to be? What is she missing at the moment? I think she's gonna be amazing. I actually love what she looks like at the moment, because I think the way, like the amount of different things you could do, like strategy-wise, with that is really exciting. So I actually really am looking forward to the new elf. And I think I'm going to do a video on her tomorrow, as I said. But in context of the whole conversation, I would say lower IQ people are happier. Yes, I totally agree with that. That is very true. People, like, I think there's definitely something to that. Dumb people are usually happy. No, it doesn't even have to be dumb people, but less intelligent people tend to be happier, and there are several reasons as to why. First of all, they don't overthink things. Like, they don't notice all the shit that's happening in the world to the same degree, right? And and you know, there really is something to that whole, you know, there's a reason your dog is likely happier than you are if you're treating it well, right? It's because it doesn't have all those problems. It doesn't realize that those things are even problems that exist, right? But I definitely think that there's truth to that. Also, there's the thing that usually the smarter you are, the more you tend to notice other people's flaws, and the more you tend to have a hard time finding people that can stimulate you conversationally, right? So like for example, one of the reasons I'm just gonna be perfectly honest here, not gonna lie, I haven't had that many girlfriends in my life, and there's a very good reason why. It's because I literally cannot be with a girl. Like, sure, if I'm drunk, that's wrong. If I'm drunk, I can. But the moment I'm sober, I literally cannot have a girl that that I can't hold a conversation with without feeling like I'm constantly trying to dumb something down. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not that I want someone that's an astrophysicist. That's not what I'm saying. But a certain level of curiosity, a certain level of sort of science, you know, rationale is required for me to be able to like that person in that way, if that makes sense. Like, I can't, like, no matter how beautiful you are, there's no way I would ever be able to like, if you were dumb as fuck, I can't. Like, I just can't. It's just not possible for me, right? And like, in the same sense, I guess, not to the same degree, but to some degree, at least with friends, it's the same. So it's harder to find good friends, and good because you have to look a lot longer, right? There's a lot fewer candidates, so to speak, in that sense, which means you tend to have fewer friends. As the smarter you are, there's actually a direct linear correlation between your IQ and the size of your social group on average, which is quite incredible if you think about it. Which is also why, like, there are people like Isaac Newton, who's like insanely smart, like one of the smartest dudes to ever live, right? And he had like no friends, no one liked him, like everyone hated him, right? Because like everything comes at a cost as well when it comes to your brain. You can't be that smart and be completely normal, because there's a physical limit to the size of your skull. Lower IQ people are happy in the same sense. Kids don't like bitter stuff. When they grow up, they get more bitter and thus more resistant to the bitterness, making the actual flavor come through. Like, I think kids are happier, yeah, in somewhat the same sense, but they're also more innocent, right? They don't know of all, you know or realize all the stuff that they, there's no responsibility there. I'm not sure what you mean that kids, like, an acquired taste is what you mean by bitter, right? Some things are sort of an acquired taste. You tend to start out by being, not liking them, and you have to, really strong taste like coffee, wine, things like that. Whoops. And almost no one likes them at first. Is that what you mean, or no? That was a joke, lol. Yeah, okay, fair enough, fair enough. Because I was a little bit confused. I think that mixes into the realm of someone's personal more than intelligence. Like that what does? I think that... Basically 0. I studied statistics, by the way. Let me just see here. Oh, wait. Oh, fuck. Too much chat. Too much chat. Stop it, chat. Stop. I die now. It's all your fault. Oops. No. Couldn't save him. I wanna read chat. So, such an interesting conversation. How did that go? Yeah, exactly. I didn't understand either, but apparently it was a troll. So, lower IQ people. Should I buy the $20 million villa tomorrow, or rather wait until tomorrow? Become a friend. Don't ask questions about. Always be down to bury a body. Always share your pizza. No, but if you've ever like there are dead serious people in Buddhism, for example, that will meditate for like 20 years in a cave silently every day. And I don't think a lot of people understand why that is the case. Why is it that and this has shown up in a lot of cultures, right? Meditation is a thing that's showed up in a lot of cultures, and there's all these sort of claims of enlightenment, right? Of like, you know, discovering something in that meditation. Too many for it to be a statistical sort of fluke, right? And what I think, and again, this is a guess, and I didn't guess it myself. Okay, I'm basing this off of stuff I've read, but I think it makes sense. Is that what they mean by that? What they've really found in that cave is that true happiness has to be present, even in the cave, where you have nothing to enjoy, you have nothing to occupy your mind. First of all, you have nothing to taste. You have nothing to sort of fill your whole. There's nothing there to sort of to make you enjoy yourself. And if you can still be happy, like if happiness exists, if true happiness is a thing, then it has to be found in a place where there's nothing else there to make you happy, right? That has to be true happiness. True happiness has to be sitting in a cave with absolutely nothing to enjoy yourself, nothing but your own company, and still being happy, still feeling good, right? That has to be true happiness. I don't think I could do that. I'm not at that point. Let me make that very clear. But I've made a lot of progress in the past couple of years, and I think that makes sense, right? And by that logic, again, true happiness, again, and being able to be happy, no matter the circumstances, is a skill you learn, and it's something. If you can do that, if some people can do that in a cave, with nothing to eat, nothing to, you know, but water and bread, type of situation for 20 years, like, then you can do it in your everyday, so to speak. Then you can. That's a skill you can acquire. And I think a lot of people that think they're depressed aren't depressed. They're not. That's not to say that they don't suffer, but clinical depression is very different from a bad thought pattern, and probably 90% of people who think they're depressed, say they're depressed, are not depressed. They're not clinically depressed, because when you're clinically depressed, you have a physical absence of the substances in your brain that are required to actually feel good, right? You don't have enough ATP. You don't have enough. What's the other molecule? The one that's I forgot what it's called right now. It's not ATP. What the fuck am I talking about? ATP is adenosine triphosphate. That's what your cells use as a. Never mind. I was thinking of the wrong molecule, but it doesn't matter. There's only two things that really make you happy. It's the mean, and I obviously can't remember what they're called, but that also doesn't matter. But that's different, right? Because that's a physical thing that's lacking in your brain that's making you unable to be happy, right? Whereas in most cases, it's really just a thought pattern. It's really just, it's nothing but a thought pattern. And it's funny how during war times, the amount of people who kill themselves due to depression are almost non-existent. Sure, I'm sure there's also not as many people measuring it, but if you look at it historically, it's actually true. When there's a war, it seems like no one has depression during wars, which makes no sense, right? You think that's weird. Then you almost have nothing to make you happy. You'd think more people were depressed during war. But it has the opposite effect. You don't have the luxury of feeling depressed in a war, right? You have something to fight for, you have something to rise up against, and you have something to push towards that's directly in front of you, so you don't have this absence of lostness, where you're just feeling like, I don't know, why does it even matter, like, that's not how you feel when people are, when your family is threatened, right? It's a concept that I think people made up. Happiness is from chemical reactions in your brain. Yeah, it is. X0, you're right that happiness is from chemical reactions in your brain. But nonetheless, those chemical reactions, like if you want those to happen, those are dependent on your frame of mind. Like those are depending on how you choose to frame the present moment. You're absolutely right that happiness is depending on chemical reactions. But if you want the right chemical reactions to happen, then the best thing you can do is to learn how to frame it in a way that apparently makes those chemical reactions happen. If you're constantly telling yourself negative stuff and talking to yourself in a negative way, then it's not really weird that life is negative, right? Depression, so many people bandwagon it that it almost loses meaning. Yeah, exactly, Alex. And it's actually funny, because like, for some reason, sorry guys if this is private, but almost all of my mods were depressed, and that's some of the reason I fell into talk with them. Because I don't know, I enjoy talking about these things, because I have been depressed myself, right? Not clinically depressed, but I have been to a very dark place, let's put it that way, in my life. Partially due to an addiction problem as well, earlier. And that was a hole that was like, let's just say, there was a time in my life when I could barely consider how I was gonna make it through make it to the end of the day. And like, when I thought about how I was gonna make it for like years, the next couple, like, it seemed so unimaginably far away when I didn't even know how the fuck I was gonna get through the day, right? And part of that was, physical addiction, but a large part of that was also just the lack of, what's the molecule? I can't remember what it's called. It annoys the shit out of me. I keep coming up with morphine, but that's not it. That's the thing, the receptor that it replaces. Can't remember. Anyways, anyone in chat? Just search for the meme. There's only two things that make you happy, and then one of them is the molecule. Anyway. But there was a physical lack of that, but also I just went through my life, like, being very critical of myself. Always. Being extremely critical, and there's nothing wrong with that inherently. It's just, I had never learned how to abstract from it. Like, I would always blame myself if I didn't get the best grade, and I didn't have to, you know what I mean? It's like, it's totally possible to be unsatisfied with my grade without necessarily having that make me sad, you know what I mean? Isn't necessarily a good measurement for true happiness if you think about it. Buddhists have the religion and they're in a certain mental state. No, but that doesn't matter, because if you're able to reach that mental state, like that mental state is exactly what you think it is, it's a mental state. And if you can reach that mental state with religion, you're totally able to do that without religion as well. Like, the religion may be a shortcut that makes it easier, but it's not something physically that changes your brain. Like, there's nothing inherent about it that you shouldn't be able to produce without religion. You know what I mean? Serotonin and dopamine. Thank you, Sniper. That's exactly what I was... Thank you. Serotonin and dopamine. Whoops. And a physical lack of dopamine is essentially what clinical depression is. All of this talk is why I love dogs. Greatest distraction. Yeah, isn't that right? Exactly. It's like there's just this happy, fluffy thing that's part of your family. I love animals and I love dogs. And one of the reasons I love animals is also because, again, there's a spectrum of consciousness and a spectrum of happiness, and to the degree, from a science perspective, the degree to which a life matters is the degree to which it's able to experience physical suffering and happiness, right? And like, that spectrum is different for different animals. That's why we don't care about ants in the same way we do about our fellow primates, which is a good thing. Which is, I mean, and it's physically impossible to confirm that because it's based off something's experience, which is inherently something that you cannot enter, because experience is the one thing that is inherently subjective. But nonetheless, we can make extremely well qualified guesses based on what we know about having, for example, a nervous system and the ability to feel pain. That like it's very likely that we're able to feel both happier and more sad than most other creatures. Maybe all, but at least most other creatures, right? Maybe whales or dolphins or primates are sort of in the same bandwagon, right? But that's really what makes your life have value. It is the degree to which you're able to feel happiness and suffering. That's all that really matters. Like, all that matters. Nothing really matters if there's nothing there to experience it. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter if it's 5,000 degrees if no one's around. Then it's irrelevant. The once and the future king. Ah, interesting. I'll definitely look that up. This guy just chilling and chatting while playing Twitch mode, and I have to try hard on Legend. As I said, I like to talk while I stream, like about issues that I find matter. Buddhism, however you spell it, doesn't it seeks nirvana, peace, contentness, very different from happiness. I would actually tend to disagree with that. I mean, you're right that that's what it seeks, but I would say that is what happiness is. Like, that's often why, I mean, in a sense, that's often why the Scandinavian countries rank so hard, including Denmark, on sort of the scale of happiness. Again, because it's the frame you put around what you have. Is what you have good enough? Like, that's not to say that you shouldn't want to have something else. But if you constantly tell yourself that what you have is worthless, because it's not what Bill Gates has, or what Elon Musk has, then you're not going to be happy. Like, being content with what you have is largely what happiness is predisposed on. Because, like, how do you explain? Like, no one walks around in an ecstasy of the feeling, like, unless they're on ecstasy, no one walks around in a feeling of ecstasy at all times. That's not what happiness is. At least I don't believe that is the case. No one is as happy as they are in that one moment when they buy a Lamborghini, or that one moment when they meet their everlasting love, or like, no one feels like that 24/7, right? Because if you did, you'd stop feeling that way, right? Because you'd get used to that feeling, and then that, if that makes sense, right? But like, no one walks around in an ecstasy, so feeling content with everything, in my opinion, that is happiness. Because that means you're never dissatisfied, and then you have on top of that feelings of you know, extra on top of that, because you had a particularly good day, or something awesome happened, or you were wrecking everyone in your favorite game, and your friends thought you were awesome, right? On top of that. But I think happiness is, to a large degree, not being unsatisfied. I could be wrong. But that's how I look at it, at least. What is happiness? Is it reaching your ambition or enjoying the journey? It's enjoying the journey. For sure. Like, for sure. Like, because in the other case, in the reaching your ambition case, you might be happy once you reach it. But then, nonetheless, once you have it, trust me, only having an ambition and reaching that ambition does not provide you with happiness. Trust me, it doesn't. Doesn't matter what the ambition is. It doesn't matter. The moment you have it, you're gonna want something else. Because that's how the human brain functions. if you don't have any problems in life, your brain will create a problem. There's no such thing as an easy life. Trust me, even kings, even the prince of the Abu Dhabi, trust me, there's no person has ever lived and died a full life thinking, wow, that was easy. No one. Like, no matter how much you have, there will be social issues. You will create problems where none are. There will be things you'll be unsatisfied. Like, everyone feels like they have a struggle. Everyone. And they do. Whether or not that's sort of trackable in the physical world is different. Like, whether or not it seems to make sense to you that he has problems, but to him it is a huge fucking problem that the waiter didn't fucking bring me my you know, if you don't have problems, your mind will create them, right? Because you'll get used to better and better stuff, so less and less things will feel like more and more of a problem to you. And that's how your brain sort of balances it out. Since I like to challenge your philosophical thought, since there's one reality, there's only one timeline. There's no such thing as a timeline, necessarily. Due to the way quantum mechanics and the theory of relativity works, we have space-time. There's only space-time, nothing else. And in theory, every moment in space-time is equally real at any given point. Imagine there's only one reality, there's only one actual timeline, no matter if there are multiple timelines or not. Right now exists only in one. This also means that the future is already fixed. Yes, there's no such I know. Two things can make me sad for a long time, but health issues. Yeah, I can understand that, Alpha. Top of outside of the reality where you're independent of time and space, so you could visit every life form and experience your own life. No matter how bad your life just was, I feel you create by yourself and go like that was interesting. Let's go again. Guessing on the way is something better to keep happy. Stagnation is never fulfilling unless you're ready to die. Yeah, that's true. With the stagnation, having is not so pleasing after all. Yeah, true. That is also true with the Mr. Spock quote. That's the thing. Learn to appreciate what you have. That doesn't mean that you shouldn't want to have something else. But if all you're doing is the wanting, then you're not going to be happy no matter what you have. Like, if you can't be happy with... If you have what I have here, if you have more than 99.9% of all people who ever lived, and you're still unable to be happy because you want something, then there's no thing you can ever get to make you happy. Then the problem is here, right? Like, just think about that. There were happy people 1,000 years ago. 1,000 years, there were happy people. If you have all of this, so much more than they could ever dream of. What? God damn it. I didn't have my hand on my... So if you can't be happy... No! I was blocked. Oh my god. Also, my throat is starting to hurt for all this talking. But if you couldn't be happy with that, with what you have now, then the problem is here. And then it's something you should start working on. Like, the sooner the better. Because, again, just knowing these things is not enough to actually get you to real... It's not like you can just, oh, that makes sense, and just wake up happy. That's not how it works. It's like working out. You need to physically change and alter the structure of your brain, which it does on its own. Thought patterns, right? It's like you have to first consciously be aware of your unhappiness, realize it's a thought pattern, implement a happier one. You have to force that happiness through, even if you have to do it. And at first you have to force it through, right? But if you keep doing that, if you keep catching yourself thinking bad things, and keep doing that, reiterating it over and over, then over a span of, I would say it took me roughly 2 years. Something like that. That's how long it, like, that's just my experience. It's gonna work slowly, but again, it might take 6 months before you even notice any progress, right? In the same way as working out, you're not gonna get buff in just a night, right? And the same way you can take roids, it might possibly help to take some MDMA or some other weird shit that might be the case, but that's not legal yet. But it's about changing the physical structure of the neurons in your brain. to a pattern that thinks more happily, that just is more positive about things. That's all it is.
A dastard honor. Are you ready?
Yes, exactly. Keep telling yourself you're happy, and you will eventually be happy.
Not so good in a fair fight, assassin.
In a sense, at least. Of course, if you have a physical, if you're diagnosed with a physical depression, clinical depression, then that's not what we're talking about here, right? But I think in 9 out of 10 cases, when people think they're depressed, this is it. Also, before I get revived, I'm gonna get some more.
Thou hast good hog the slaughter, Dreamer.
Just boiling some water for some tea, because every time I stream, I talk so much that my throat literally starts to hurt. But hopefully you guys find it interesting. At least I hope so. And maybe even useful if you're one of those people that generally feel down. Trust me, better times will come. And again, like, it's a deep pit you can be down in. Trust me. It's a very deep pit. It can be. And like, I've by no means had it hard comparatively to some people. But I definitely felt like I had it hard. I definitely felt like, whew, like it couldn't get any worse. But it definitely could. It always can, but it can also get better. And it will get better if you want it to. But again, it's never going to be an easy path. It's not just a magical trick. But the first step to becoming happier is knowing some of these things, right? Which is also why I don't understand that we don't teach any of these things. Maybe some of these things aren't accurate, let me just say that. But to the degree that we know they're accurate and learn that they're accurate, we should be teaching them to kids in school. Because a happy child is a way more, like, if kids are happy, kids tend to do better in school for multiple reasons. They tend to do better socially, obviously, but they also tend to learn more because they want to be there, right? You know what I mean? Like teaching skills that sort of put you in a position of liking your life. You tend to learn better in those circumstances, right? If you fucking hate every day, then you're not gonna learn anything. Like, trust me. The human brain is just a cunt, let's be real. No, cunts are what it wants. If it's a guy brain, at least. But to that philosophical thing you said earlier, in terms of, like, I forgot what it was, with the reality thing, and like time and space, it's like, I mean, oh, this is gonna be a long explanation. Like I've said this before, but there's no such thing as free will. Okay, you may. Like, I know that I've had this discussion with a couple people, but there is literally, like, thinking that free will is actually a thing that exists. It is equivalent. It's literally. It is almost dumber if you think about it than act. And I don't mean that in a condescending way, because like I used to think there was free will, so I don't mean it like that. But the concept, if you really think about it, trust me, this is something I've spent hundreds of hours thinking about, because it's really something fundamental to reality itself, and to how it works and what it means to be a human. But like, if free will was a thing, that is like, it's like way less likely that free will is a thing than even that God exists. I'd be way more inclined to say that there's a God than that free will exists. Way more. Because one is actually physically impossible. Like, that free will is a thing is literally physically impossible in the universe we live in. It is actually physically not possible for free will to be a thing. And the reason it's not physically possible for free will to be a thing, and not only do we have hundreds of experiments showing that scientists in a lab can predict what you're going to do before you yourself were consciously aware of what you were going to do. In other words, they can say several seconds before whether you pick left or right, before you yourself were aware of it. That's one thing. But the other thing is that whatever a choice is, like, it has to be physical. You can't say it's outside this universe. Because if it were outside this universe, it would be unable to affect this universe, and thus you'd be unable to make a choice. So a decision, no matter what it is, no matter what the nature of consciousness is, it has to inherently have a physical property. Because if it doesn't, it would not be able to affect you into doing what you're doing. So there has to be a physical thing behind a choice. And in the physical world, here's the thing. There's only two options. Either everything is predetermined, that's one option, in which case there's no such thing as free will. Because everything would then just, like, we should still act as if it was a thing, but in that case, everything would be predetermined. Or it would be random. In other words, it would go according to quantum mechanics, in which something like a superposition would be randomly selected between two options, and that superposition was related to a choice. But here's the thing, there's no combination of determinism and randomness that gives you free will. There's no combination of predetermined and randomness that equate to a choice. You can't program a choice into a... Like, you can have a simulation and set something moving at 10 times the speed of light in the simulation, right? You can break the laws of physics in simulations. But if I told you to program a choice into a simulation, you wouldn't know where to start, because the concept itself does not make sense. It just doesn't apply to the universe that we live in. It is an illusion that is a property of I think not just human, possibly also other, I don't know, creatures, but at least a property of human consciousness, where that you feel as if you have a choice. But if you really think more about it and like really notice whether or not you have a choice, then you realize you actually don't. Like, you're gonna do whatever your mind was telling you was the right thing to do in that moment, even if you knew that this was wrong to do. But you still always only make the decision that you think is the decision you should make, which makes sense if you think about it. Like, I'm physically not capable of making a decision that I don't think I should be making, because if I didn't think I should be making it, then I wouldn't. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't make sense. So there's no such thing as free will. And in a universe without free will, that should increase compassionate. Because that means no one is really... First of all, it should reduce the need for bragging. There's nothing to brag about. You're not ultimately responsible for your genes. You're not ultimately responsible for what you end up doing. You're not responsible for where you're born either. You're not responsible for a lot of things. The social circle you were in, you're not responsible for the wealth you had at birth. And that should increase compassion. It also means that you should look at people like... Oh my god. What am I doing? And that was dumb. What that also means is that you should look at people, murderers for example. It doesn't matter what it is. You should look at bad people and go, I actually feel bad for them, because they likely have a shitty life, right? That doesn't mean we shouldn't lock them up. I'm not advocating for just opening all prison gates. No, because you don't need to in this view, because it's still better for everyone else if those people are locked up, right? Because what you have done is a very good way of saying, like, sort of, whether or not you did something consciously and was consciously aware of it, it's a really good estimator of what you're likely to do in the future, right? So if you kill someone intentionally, that means you're way more likely to kill someone again than you would be if you just accidentally drove into them, right? So you should be locked up for longer. That still makes sense. But there's no need to hate someone just because they're a murderer. You shouldn't hate them. Hate really just reduces the amount of well-being you're feeling. You should always look at these things with the mindset of, does it make sense to let these people out into society again? Can we let them out into society? Would the world be a better place if we did, or a worse place if we did? That should be the judgment you put on someone who is in jail, someone who's done bad things. You should be, because at a certain point they're unlucky. Like, but it's true. You're unlucky to have bad genes. You're unlucky to be born in a poor country. You're unlucky to have the genes of a psychopath, right? Because that means you had a craving and you couldn't control it and you ended up killing someone. Now you have to sit in a prison cell in the United States for the next 50 years. And I'm like, I actually think it would be more humane in that instance to just kill someone I'm not sure on that. I'm not fixed in my position on that, but I think that a good case could be made for that. That if it's life in prison in that sense, then it might just be better to kill people for everyone. But nonetheless, you're unlucky to be that person. There's no need to hate that person. Despite, and I'm not saying, sure, in a first-person social sense, if something has been done to you, someone killed someone you love, it's only natural to hate the person, right? But
Nice weather today.
try not to. Because, like, you wouldn't hate a bear that has just killed the same person, right? If a bear just ate your mother, right? You wouldn't hate the bear. Like, you wouldn't feel anger towards the bear. It was just a bear. It was just doing whatever a bear does, right? But there is no difference between the bear. There's no scientific, there's absolutely zero difference between the bear. You can't say he should know better. No. He should, in a sense, but nonetheless, he was just doing what he was doing. Like, people would hate the bear. Not in the same way. Let me put it that way. If anyone's in yeah, I also, like, I'd love to keep streaming, but my throat is literally hurting so much that, like, I'll probably have to stop the stream after this game. But I absolutely love, like, I hope you guys, let me know if you enjoy these things, because, like, I have been thinking about making videos about these things, but I don't know, it's hard. Not because I don't know the subject matter, because trust me, I do spend so many hours on these exact topics and things. But I feel like I'm really afraid, actually, is the right word, to put a video out about it, because there's another level of scrutiny when it comes to talking about people's minds and sort of scientific concepts. I would hold that to a much higher degree of sort of importance, right? Because you're, again, whether or not I like it, I affect people. That's another good thing, actually, about the whole concept of no free will, is what that actually also implies is that the world matters. Okay? Everything you do, like, it's funny, because in a world with no free will, your actions actually, and decisions, so to speak, actually matter more than they do in any other universe. Because in that universe, your decisions, the world you leave to your kids, is the single only determiner for the prosperity and well-being of the future. You know what I mean? Because in that world, there's nothing else to intervene. There's no God, there's no decisions, there's no... So your decisions really matter. The things you do matter more than in any other scenario, because in this case, they're literally the only thing that determines how good the world is going to be. There's nothing else there, right? And so your decisions in a world without decisions really matter. And again, I'm not saying that we should, like, pretend or feel like there's no such thing as free will, because obviously I still feel like there's free will all the time. Every time I look in my refrigerator, I feel like I have free will, right? I'm like, what do I want to eat now, right? I'm not saying that should go away. But in our more objective moments, where we can step back and legislate, for example, right? That's when we should be thinking about the world this way. Most people are not enlightened enough to not hate the bear after it killed their mother. Depends also how the mother treated them. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I don't think most people would hate the bear, not inherently. Maybe in the moment they'd be mad, but they wouldn't hold a grudge to the bear 2 years after, right? They wouldn't be sitting fantasizing about killing the bear several years after because of that. You know what I mean? I'm not saying there's no person who would do that, but most people wouldn't be like that. Whereas if someone had killed your mother, a person, right? You might have mental struggles with that. You might fantasize about how much you hate and want to kill the person for many years to come. And that's not healthy. That's not healthy. That's reducing your well-being. Just because it was a person, when really it shouldn't make a difference, right? Or it might be you. It could be you who's been attacked by a bear and you survive. You wouldn't fantasize, you wouldn't have nightmares about, in the same way, and hate this person who had sort of almost killed you or who had attacked you. Like, I still have, I wouldn't call them nightmares because they're not that bad, but I still have, once in a while, a flashback or a bad dream of, like, that one time that I've talked about before where I got beaten up, pepper sprayed in the eyes, kidnapped, driven into the woods, and threatened to have my fingers cut off. once in a while. It's very rare, but once in a while I still get like in a dream I wake up and like, oh shit, that was about that, I think. Because it's hard to interpret, right? But I assume it was about that, because that was a semi-traumatic experience. It's not like, I wouldn't call it traumatic, but a tiny bit traumatic, right? Just a tiny bit, nothing that I feel like affects my everyday at all, but nonetheless. And so I've learned not to hate the person who did that. I did for a long time. Just for a long time I hated that person. And it's only, again, in the past sort of 5 or so years, when I feel like I've become more enlightened on these things, that I've learned that there's no cause to hate him. I have no reason to hate the person. Again, because what's there to gain from hating him? Like, hate is not a nice feeling. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm only doing myself a disservice. Oh, goddammit, there's something blocking me. Damn it. Oh, oh. Oh! So close! Oh yeah, I have a bomb. Boom! Nice one, Dr. Faustus. Nice one, nice one. Nah, I thought I was too early. Fuck. Love topic, yeah, but I hope you get to see the cold Myers in case. Yeah, definitely. No problem, mate. Yeah, I've been talking about this for a long time now, so it may be a little deep just for Vermintide gameplay, not gonna lie. I don't know if everyone can follow what I'm saying. And again, let me just put it out there, it's totally possible that I'm wrong about 99% of what I'm saying. I don't think I am, because if I did, then I wouldn't be saying it. But I just want to reiterate that I'm not a clinical psychologist. Despite the amount that I have studied this on the internet. I also had some psychology in school, but most of this is just stuff I've read over the years and resonated with, stuff I thought made sense after having tried to dismantle it for a hundredth time. Again, all of this didn't necessarily make sense to me the first time I read it. Some of it took a lot of thought, a lot of sort of repetition before I sort of saw the picture that I feel like made sense. But that doesn't mean I'm necessarily right. So I just wanna put that out there as well. That I'm under no illusion that I necessarily have the right view of everything at all whatsoever. If there even is such a thing. But I think it makes sense, at least most of it. To have free will, you would have to think about your thoughts before you can think them. That is exactly right. I think that was Sam Harris who said that, something like that. I may be wrong on that, but oh shit. But that is exactly right. You would have to think your thoughts before you think them. And that is, that makes no sense. You're not the author of your thoughts. That's the thing. Thoughts just appear in consciousness. And that's what I mean when I say you're not the voice in your head, because there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. If I say elephant, then you picture an elephant or you picture the word elephant. And that was not on you. I just implanted that in your head, right there. What are you going to do about it? You can't. You can't do anything about it. Because it just appeared in consciousness due to a physical stimuli, which was the sound, in this case, of me saying elephant. And like, if I asked you to forget that I just said elephant, you wouldn't be able to forget it. Now you're blatantly aware of the fact that I just said elephant. And there's no amount of mental strain is going to allow you to just forget that I just said elephant, right? Like, the more you want to forget it, the harder you think about it. Where's the free will in that? Mate, you should play with better players. Nah, I don't mind, Robert, honestly. I don't mind. When I'm streaming, again, I'm not streaming for the gameplay. Like, the gameplay is part of it, of course, to have a background. But mostly here, when I play, unless I'm doing something specific, like a Vermintide viewer, like sometimes I'll play with viewers. And of course, for that, it's about the gameplay, but when I just stream like this randomly, it's as much just to talk to you guys. Like, so I enjoy that. I think it's a good way to sort of get more, you know, personal with the people that are actually watching your videos. It allows me to show a little bit more about who I actually am as a person, rather than, you know, when it's all just sort of scripted. To the extent that I script videos, I do sometimes, but mostly I don't. Only when it's like a really important video or big video. I thank you very much, Robert. I appreciate that. It is very kind of you to say that I am very kind. Came for the gameplay, stayed for the conversations. Well, glad to have you here, Sniper. I've had to drink, so I can't play Legendary anymore. I thought I'd go play Champion, but oh my god, Champion has made me rage, so anyway, I'm here now. That's funny, Daniel, that's funny. Sorry I missed that one. Forget that you said what. Yeah, exactly, as long as I'm not, oh shit. As long as I'm not the problem, then I'm good. Like, as long as I don't feel like I'm holding everyone else back, then it's okay. 4 seconds to forget until you said it 3rd time. Thought my short-term memory is someone fucked for some reason. I think the classical experiment is to think of a city, right? Whoops. Because if free will is a thing, then it has to be present in an arbitrary decision, right? Where there's no pressure from any side, there's no weight on the decision. You're free to pick any city in the entire world. It's a free as choice as is available, because there's absolutely no consequences or repercussions or gains for that matter. Pick a city in your mind. It's as free as choice as can be. So if free will exists, it has to be found there, right? Because that's as free a choice as you're ever gonna have. So if that's, so it has to be. We have to be able to find it here if it's there. And then the first first thing is you could say, okay, so there's all the cities that you don't know the name of. Obviously, you were not free to pick those, right? Because if I held a gun to your head, you still wouldn't be able to pick one if your life depended on it, right? Because you didn't know the names of those cities. Then there's all the cities that you know the name of, yet didn't occur to you. Cairo, for example. You know Cairo. You've heard of Cairo. You know Cairo is a city. Yet, for whatever reason, the Cairo circuits just weren't activating in that moment when I asked you to pick a city, right? Like the Cairo, they just weren't, for whatever reason, they just weren't active in this moment. So were you free to pick that which did not occur to you? No, of course you weren't. Of course you weren't free to pick. Even though you know the name of that city, you were not free to pick that which did not occur to you. It was never in the cards. It was never in the shuffle of possibilities. You maybe pick 2, 3, maybe 5 at most, and then you select one of those 5, right? Then you try to pick from those sort of narrowed down options. And that's usually what people think about with a free choice. But even then, if I were to ask you why you picked any given one of them, you'd be unable to tell me why. It could be that the other day you were watching this program about Tokyo, and so for that reason your Tokyo circuits were firing, right? Or it could be the opposite. It could be you saw that thing about Tokyo the other day and therefore you thought, no, I'm not gonna pick Tokyo. But the reason is inherently mystical to you. You can't tell me why you chose that thing, right? There's no logic behind it. You just picked one. And so if you can't even tell me why you did that thing, then it's, again, the choice is not free in that sense. Adding anyone to your friend list based on their performance? Not based on their performance, no. I would rather play with a horrible, nice guy who's trying his best to work with the team than I would play with the best player in the world, other than me, obviously. No, then I would play with the best player in the world who was like a selfish cunt that wanted everything to be done his way or yeah. Like when I'm playing with viewers, I don't care how good they are. Like I just want to play with awesome people, nice people that have a mic, preferably, just because that's more fun for me and everyone else. But if you're asking me if you can add me to your friend list, then you're welcome to add. If I still have more spots, if it's not filled up yet, then I'd be happy to accept it. I don't mind. But I'm invisible mode 99% of the time, just so you know. I think it's better if you want to play, then you're gonna have more luck if you just join the Discord. 'Cause that's where I am most of the time. That's where I respond to people most of the time. Like if you send me a Discord message, I will 99.9% I will respond as soon as I see it. Whereas on Steam, it's kind of, it doesn't save chats and like, yeah, so like I don't chat that much with people on Steam in the same sense. So your best chance would be on Discord. I did not hear that strength over the sound of myself talking. How did you put the HUD like that? Frank GB, I have a whole video on that that's called the perfect UI settings. It's a couple of mods that I use. It's one mod in particular. I then use a couple of others to change it up a bit extra. But I have a whole video in which I showcase how to do it. It's impressive how he managed to multitask. I'd be dead even on Legend if I tried to read chat during waves. Yeah, like in the beginning when I was streaming Vermintide, I had this problem, right? That I wanted to show, I had this inherent dying need inside to show people how good I was at the game. That's the honest truth. That's why I made YouTube videos in the first place. Not gonna lie, my first YouTube video, I did it for one reason and one reason only: show off. That's the honest truth. It was because I was like, I want everyone to see just how awesome I am at this game. That was that was part of the reason, at least, let's put it that way, that I started. That's not the reason anymore, let me just make that very clear, but that was part of the incentive to do it in the first place. Because I thought I was tired of everyone not believing me when I told them that I could solo a double Emperor deed, and no one would believe me. And I would have to physically fight, and do it in front of them before they would believe me. And so I thought, you know what, I'm gonna upload a video so that every time people do it, I could just be like, here, link, and then move on in life, right? Which had to do with my inherent ego and need to feel like I'm good at stuff. That's part of who I am. That's just me being honest. I have an inherent need to feel like I'm good at stuff. That's just part of who I am as a person. I've realized that. Yeah, it looks like cancer. It is a working meme in progress. It's very offensive, because that way we only have people with good humor. But that's an inherent part of who I am as a person. And like, in the beginning when I was streaming, I had the problem that I was constantly not playing as well as I wanted to because I was focusing on chat. And I was constantly not focusing as much as I wanted on chat because I was trying to play well. And then I became inherently aware of the fact that I wasn't playing as well as I could, and that I wasn't following chat as well as I could. And that just made both things worse. And yeah, but thankfully I've learned to get over that and sort of multitask. Anyways, man, that was today's lecture. I'll stay a little bit more, just maybe 10 minutes or such, for if anyone have any questions or suggestions, or it could be anything. It doesn't have to be related to the topic. It can be Vermintide builds. It can be whatever comes to your mind if you want. Just 10 minutes. Just wait, let me just say thanks for the games. Thanks for the games. I got to go. Have a nice evening. But like my voice is literally starting to hurt now because I talk so much. And for that reason I thought, yeah, but I always like to, I should make this a fixed thing that like I end with like 10 minutes of just Q&A, ask me anything, whatever you want to call it. And as I said, it could be anything. Vermintide related, philosophy. We actually don't want to play Deathwitch Onslaught 3 with Twitch mode to prove anything. Stream will be a disaster full of deaths and people will get bored. Yeah, that's true, that's true. And should just go onto the Valheim server and show some stuff. I'm working on a video with that, with the guild hall, the amazing guild hall. And eventually the docks as well when it's from. I'm from Denmark, friend GB. Bring some water. Yeah, that's a good point actually. I'm just gonna get some tea real quick. I forgot that I put water, so it should be 10 seconds. the same time, it had been a while, so I just needed a few more seconds of. Hey, Chair, how are you? What up, crew Militende? How are you? I don't know if I'm saying that right, but how are you doing? Alpha Gamer 10 games. Have you played the Twitch integration? Yes, I have. If you mean Twitch mode, right? I really wish that it also worked with YouTube, but it doesn't. Which is like one of the incentives I have to actually play on Twitch is that there's Twitch mode. Have a build for range of it. No idea if you know that one, but I think it's funny. You use all the trade with a 25% chance on not using items and the grenade ult variant and drops. Ever played like that? I have done something similar once, but I don't play a lot of Ranger Veteran, so not a lot. But I do remember a build that like focused on that exact thing, where you wanted to hit the 33% chance. Like they changed the talents a little bit now, but chance of not consuming your bomb and then hoping that you hit that magical 1 in 1,028 or something, where you managed to throw like 7 bombs. I think that's the most I've ever seen anyone. I seem to recall someone who threw 7 bombs in a row without it getting consumed. Which, you know, not gonna lie, that's pretty. That's hitting some pretty sweet odds. Same medkit 4 times, not bad either. Well, glad to hear that. Crewmill? Crewmill? I don't know if I'm saying that right, so apologies if I'm butchering your name. Candide, hey there, I recently enjoyed playing a Shade Double Daggers, Talon Cloak of Mist, Vanish, and Spring-Heeled Assassin. It's a blast to flank hordes and dodge attacks by walking around so fast. Yeah, I agree. I would still use Sword and Dagger, because it is slightly better once you get used to it. But I don't blame you, because daggers are inherently satisfying to use. Let's be real about that. And they're not bad. That's the other thing. So even though there's a version that's a bit better, I would still recommend that you do whatever you prefer, right? If you're having more fun with daggers, go with daggers. Like, daggers are totally fine. How is it called, the video? Does it work in Official Kingdom? How it's called, the video? Does it work in Official Kingdom? Oh, you mean the UI video? Yes, it works in the official... here, let me find it for you. Effect UI settings. Cringe. Don't want to hear my own voice. Okay, I'm gonna send it in chat momentarily. If you want the same UI as... There it is. And no problem, I got used to hear all kind of expressions of the name, but you hit it right. Well, thank you. Also, you're saying that it's pronounced Krumel. No, I'm just kidding. You're welcome, Frank, no problem. I'm kind of unhappy with parts of the tavern/inn at the docks. Smarty, you take every opportunity. I'm sure they'll look just fine, mate. You worry too much. Have you not heard all these things we talk about? You worry too much. Things have a tendency of working themselves out when it comes to stuff like that. I've played Weaves with some guys I met from my country. I haven't touched Weaves before. I never find people to play. Yeah, unfortunately, Weaves was kind of a failed project, let's be real. There was so much potential there. I feel like they should just implement all of the wins, all the effects into the normal gameplay, or into deeds, or into something, right? It would be so much more awesome. Let's just say you had like 8 tiers of deeds, and like tier 1 only had 1 win, tier 2 had 2, tier 3 had 3, all the way up to like having all wins at the same time. That'd be fucking awesome. Now, it's not that you think too much. You think the wrong way. There's a difference. I think too much. But it's about how you frame the present moment. It's about how you think, not how much you think. Glass Gang! Woohoo! Oh, no. It's Knife Gang! Woohoo! What was that thing that I had? Oh yeah, one-handed sword gang. That's the meme that was at a point when I realized that one-handed sword wasn't actually as shitty as everyone thought for Carillion. And there was someone in chat who was like, one-hand sword gang, woo! And hello there, 60. Wee. IKEA makes it possible, yeah, true story. IKEA is a... Yeah, I know. I saw this beautiful Bailey Song knife. That's one of these, a butterfly, a Bailey Song knife, right? Oh my god, it's exactly the one I wanted, right? It was perfect, right? The only problem was it cost like $2,000. I was like, nope, not gonna buy that. Like, oh, I wanted it so bad. Have you ever cut yourself while recording a knife intro? Yes, I believe I have. I also think I also believe that I actually showed. I think I showed it, didn't I? I did cut myself once during an intro, yes, at least. I think I also cut myself once while streaming, if I recall correctly. I think the worst one I've done, by far the worst cut I've done in recent history, right, was while I was playing Counter-Strike, right, with my old mouse, the one I burned in an intro, and like, it had glue here because this whole thing had fallen off, right, and so I glued it back together 100 times, right, and it was starting to pile up, and like in the middle of the game, it fell off, and I was dumb enough to use this knife to try and get it off, right. And I cut myself. Oh, I actually still have a tiny mark. You see, like, I don't know if you guys can see it. Like, whoa, shit. It's like right there. It's a tiny mark, right? But it kept bleeding, right? And I tried to, like, in the middle of a ranked game with 4 people on Discord, right? And, you know, and I was just sitting there, like, trying, like, you can't move without your left hand, right? In the middle of ranked CS. It's his 3rd eye replacement, but nothing major happened. Nice one. Someone actually. Why do I keep jumping into something new? Let me just tell the story finished. I cut myself. I'm like, I kept trying to like sit here, like pause, right? And every time I turned my hand around to like try and move, it would just start bleeding on my keyboard, right? And it was just total panic. I'm like, what the fuck do I do? It wasn't that it was hurting that much. It was just. It was bleeding a lot, right, on my keyboard. There was no way I could keep playing without, I had to, like, sit with my hand like this, and, like, for, like, 2 or 3 or 4 minutes, and I just told my friends, guys, it's gonna be better if I'm not here for 3 rounds, but then I'm here afterwards, right? So, because, like, if I keep doing this, right, I just do it for 30 seconds, turn it around, and play, then it's never, it's never gonna be fixed. And that was a nice joke about the eye replacement. Someone wrote a comment, I believe, at some point, and like, he couldn't understand how I wasn't scared that one day I would like take my butterfly knife and sort of he put it in a very, very specific way, sort of like ingrain it in my forehead or something like that, right? He was like, how are you not scared that one day your knife will like get ingrained into your forehead and you'll die? And I was like, wow, well, never thought about that. Let's start there. And secondly, why are you not afraid to go outside just because you can get hit by a car, right? I mean, sure, it could, but like, if it happens, it happens. I really hope it doesn't, right? I really hope it doesn't, but yeah, I don't think it will either. Sure, I'll cut myself, but I don't think it's gonna get ingrained in my forehead. And hopefully, especially not my eye. Mouse broken, hand cut, keyboard bloody sounds like an average CSGO ranked experience. Yeah, that's about accurate, Divine Embrace. That's about accurate. Welcome to the guide, how to get demonetized on YouTube. Have you seen recent video on Spacetime? Yeah, I have. I see all Spacetime videos. Space Time where they discuss how gravity is in fact just a manifestation of the gradient in how the time is flowing at different places. I love their explanations. Absolutely can't hide. I love PBS Space Times. Been watching them for many years. Well, in your defense, there is a thing called skull. Lol. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's why. Why else do you have a forehead if not to block those things? Ah. How much is it? Nah. Every time I drink coffee, I'm like, yeah, are they yellow? Have I? Again, because I'm way too self-aware. True gamer. Yeah, like that's why you need gaffer on your desk. That's actually that would have been a good fix. I would have done if I had gaffer there. I would have likely done it because it was kind of chaos and all over the place. Not gonna lie, but I did manage in the end through sheer perseverance. No, I have not Greater Good. I have not played Doom Eternal. Is it an PvP FPS? Because I think I watched some tournaments with it, if I'm thinking of the right game. No, that was Quake. That was Quake, I think. Yeah, I think that was Quake. But no, I have not. Isn't Doom Eternal that fairly new game that's gotten like insanely good reviews that everyone loves? The lockdown is great for photography. I mean, not gonna lie. Dude, since I went full-time YouTube, the lockdown didn't really affect me that much. Like, the only difference is I had to wear a mouth cover when I'm shopping. That's about it. Like, these days, I'm very one-dimensional, determined, focused on getting to the point where I make enough money on YouTube that I don't have a minus every month. That's, like, my very singular focus. Seems to be good. Yeah, that's right. It's good for climate. That is true, and good for wildlife in general. The lack of like noise from both boats and airplanes had a huge impact on several different ecosystems across the world. And hopefully one day we'll get better at how we treat the world. Because at the moment, I think that's also one of the most disgusting things. It's hard to correct for once you're dependent on something, but really, I think a lack of education has to be part of it. But really, people don't quite realize that there's no. I just saw recently, David Attenborough had a new documentary called something with David Attenborough, not narrated by, but actually something about his life, right? In which, again, he made the statement that there's no such thing as true wilderness anymore. Not true wilderness. There's nowhere on Earth anymore that we haven't affected to some extent, to some degree, affected the wildlife and the populations. There's no such thing as wildlife, true, raw wildlife anymore. And I don't know. To some degree, it's scary, right? Like the ocean, like water likes to absorb carbon, right? If not for the ocean, the amount of carbon in our atmosphere would be way higher. But that only works to a certain extent. Once you sort of saturate the ocean with carbon, not only do you affect the acidity, which affects wildlife, but at a certain point, it actually has the opposite effect. Which is to say, at a certain point, when you reach a threshold, it does the opposite, and it actually starts reversing the process of having absorbed the carbon, and actually starts spitting it out into the atmosphere. Photosynthesis. I can. Do I want to know what it was, Smarty? Wait, will you be covering Dying Light 2 when it comes out? Oh yeah, 6-0. Sorry, I missed that one. Fuck yeah, I'll be covering Dying Light. Absolutely loved Dying Light 1. I literally skipped, I think, like 3 or 4 days of school when Dying Light came out. I just remember when Dying Light came out, I bought it, I downloaded it, I started playing it. I was like, this game is fucking great. I missed school Monday, I missed school Tuesday, I missed school Wednesday, I went to school Thursday, I believe, because I felt really bad about having missed 3 days of school. And then the next day I was like, fuck it, I'm so cool. Like, I fucking love Dying Light 1, and I've been waiting for the second one for a long time, so I'll definitely be covering Dying Light 2. Can't wait for that game. Ultra Nightmare. I streamed the latest DLC, Shameless Plug is Shameless. What? Nice. Fast-paced and very gore, very good. Oh yeah, I'll definitely check it out. I've only heard good things about it, as I recall it, the Doom game. But it's largely single-player focused. Yeah, okay. I'm hyped even though there are no new enemy types. Do you have a clue when the new... as I said earlier in the stream, I mean, I don't, really. My only guess is based off of the stuff that's been leaked, which looks almost finished. There was no icon for it, but it looked like pretty far in development. I know it's far enough in development that there are people testing it. Like, there are players that are beta testing the hero for balance purposes. So my guess would be either in this, like, beginning of April, so like in a few weeks, in a week or two. That's one guess. Either that or right around maybe after Chaos Wastes come out. The truth is, I don't know. I feel like if you compare the time between Grail Knight and Engineer, then it feels like it's too early for the Carillion class to come out now, right? It feels like too soon. But at the same time, they're so far in development that it would make sense that it came out like pre or after. What were the leaks you've seen? I'm gonna show that possibly in a video tomorrow. Screw it. For everyone who's still here, is a true viewer. Let's I'll show you guys real quick. Wait a sec. But I'm likely also gonna make a video about it. Just promise me you'll also watch the video, despite having seen it. Is that a deal? Is that a deal? Better be a deal. Somewhere in this folder, so many photos. I did not mean to open it with paint. That's photos. So here it is. Ha! You can't see what her thing does because of my camera. This is the leak. It says here that her ultimate is that Carillion conjures a thick wall of thorns that hinder enemy movement. Yeah, looks like a druid. Yeah, exactly. It's a spellcaster at least. Xandark, I was worried about that at first, but I'm not anymore, actually. First of all, I personally had an interview with a company that does research for Fatshark, to whom they sort of make a report about what direction to take the game, in which I really emphasized the melee combat. And since I saw the trailer to the game, it actually seemed like it was, as I said in that interview, that the melee combat could not be secondary to the game. It could not be. It had to be sort of equal with the ranged. It couldn't just be a feature. I click Q, I have one attack, right? I actually think that they understand. I hope at least, but I honestly think that they understand that the melee combat system of Vermintide was the primary driving factor behind the game's, like, behind how great the game was, right? Like, they really did well with the feeling, the mechanical calculations that go into what melee combat is about. It's the best melee combat I've ever tried in any game ever. Let's be real about that. And it actually, I think they've understood that was a huge part of the success of the game. So I share your fear to some degree, but I don't think it's gonna be the case. I don't know, obviously, but I don't think so. They're not gonna do that. They would have to do so much additional stuff for that. And here we are. She's a wood elf again. Sienna has competition. Good question, Belend. That league is real. I'm happy about that. I'm sure you could build your character how you want in Darktide. Oh yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, exactly. Itachi Chero. I pride myself on trying to pronounce people's names, no matter how hard. Itachi Hiro. I'm satisfied with that pronunciation. It may be wrong, but I'm satisfied. Itachi Hiro, welcome to the stream, my friend. Yes. That was not stereotypical at all. Especially with Ogrin-kun. Grill not good for weaves? Yeah, grill that's great for weaves. Especially with a shield weapon. I've hit my 1000th hour playing Vermintide this week, and I hate first-person shooters. I agree with you. Yeah, again, there's so many first-person like there's so many games that you could equate to Vermintide if not for the melee combat, right? There are so many games, like the list is endless of like sci-fi first-person shooters, right? There's so many that would feel so similar if it was only the range combat that made it driven, right? What sort of makes this game so different, in my opinion, is just how great the melee combat, how satisfying and skillful the melee combat is, and how well the two play together, right? Like, if this class is real, and as I said, I don't know. Let me put it this way: I don't have first-hand personal confirmation that it is real, but I am 99% sure that it is. I'm not going to tell you why I am, but I'm just going to say that I am 99% sure it's real, and for some good reasons. But I don't actually know it for a fact. Let's put it that way. That's all I'm going to say. Now we're actually increasing in view. Anyways, I'm gonna probably gonna make a video about this tomorrow once I've warned the community manager. So Green Sienna, do you think it's just gonna be a convert for Brilliant? Honestly, I don't know. The only reason my buddies stopped playing Vermintide 2 is because of lacking long-time motivation on cosmetics and build customization. I totally agree. They could do so much more with customization. It's one of those areas that I've always just sat down in awe, puzzled at how little they could do and how big an impact it would have, right? Like just something as basic as color customization of the weapons. The glowing weapons. There's literally a mod that allows you to change it to any color you want, right? It does a huge part of the feel of the weapon, right? Just changing the color of some of the basic skins would like matter so much. It would matter so much because it would allow you to fit a hat to the color, and you could just take the colors and tie them to something like an arbitrary kill count on that class, for example, or on that weapon. That would be so easy, low effort ways to implement way more customization without it requiring a huge effort on Fat Shark's part. I understand, like, the three-dimensional design of a hat can take time and be complex, but like, just a color change variation algorithm like that cannot take a long time to make, right? So there's so many things where I don't know. Again, I'm not blaming Fat Shark because again, it's their game, it's their vision. I don't understand why they don't do those things. And I definitely think they could have done a better job on those aspects, in my opinion, as much as I love the game. What do you think of Vermintide 2 needs to be mainstream, Fat Shark? Think of the competitive while making more, but clearly it's not this. To be mainstream, that's a good question. I think definitely it needs customization, way more customization. If you want it to be mainstream, it needs way more customization. I would think that it would need maybe something like an element of just waves, sort of like Fortunes of War, but let's just say you're in the keep and there's infinite waves, and they just get larger and larger and larger and bitter, and more and more stuff. Maybe that would be like a sort of in-game content-ish. It would need more satisfying rewards for challenges you do, I think. And obviously, marketing. I'm grinding legend runs about 500 hours now, and I feel like I hit 1k, my motivation would only really be getting better and better at the game and not in-game customization. yeah, to a certain extent you're right, but to a certain extent I think you're also wrong, right? Because there's something inherently satisfying about showing something off. Let's be real. Something that you have that others don't have because you did something. There's just an inherent human emotion of satisfaction when you can show off something that's hard to get, right? That's why do people like Lamborghinis? It's not just because they're fast, it's because they're hard to get. Same with Ferrari. It's not just that they're something is beautiful, it's also that not everyone can just get one. That's why it has value. If everyone had a Ferrari, no one would be blinking with an eye if you had a Ferrari, right? So there's inherent value in the scarcity and effort you have to put in to get something. And so I think it would definitely make sense to have an array of colors that you could sort of, the more you played the hero in the class, until you get to like the very end where this is like really difficult to actually get a red glowing weapon. That should be really hard, but something that's valuable to grind after as you're getting better at the game. But also you get to actually show this thing off, right? Did your green screen arrive? Oh yeah, it has arrived. I did actually do a quick recording early test sort of earlier, but I realized I needed better lighting. But yes. Whoops, I forgot I locked it. Woo! It works. I just haven't set it up properly. I haven't quite figured out. I think I'm gonna move some stuff around in my apartment. Was that a real, that's elf class real or fake mate just got here? We don't, we're pretty sure it's a leak, but we're not 100% sure. I'm like 99% sure, but not 100. So it could be fake, but I'm pretty sure it's not. And welcome, Ricard. Q, I'm sorry, but we're just about to finish up here. So sorry about that. But my voice is really starting to need a break now because I've been talking for a lot. I heard the engine is pretty hard to manage. My station ever seen that unique hat Salzburg wear in the prologue mission? It's unavailable as far as I know. I'm not sure what hat you're referring to, but it could be that it's one of the hats that's in the game files and thus available on the modded realm, but just not available on the official realm. Yeah, with proper lighting, that's the thing. Like, I have this lamp that's like a streamer lamp, but I hate having it straight in my face. I feel like that's so uncomfortable. Like, I don't want to have that lamp like pointing straight at my face right behind my screen. That feels so freaking uncomfortable. Sorry, Jack. I don't know. Like, I've heard Rune Priest, something like that. I've heard a bunch of like good sort of good suggestions that seem likely. It's all right. I tuned in a bit earlier. Thanks for keeping the Vermintide community running, doing your part. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate that. Just one more question. How did you find out that she was level 18? I think Xandark is like that used to be my Steam account before I started and changed it to the party knife, right? Before that, my Steam account was called I Thought She Was Level 18. I thought that was absolutely hilarious. I don't know. I didn't invent it, just to be clear. I'm not the inventor of that joke. But when I saw it, I just died absolutely of laughter. Because I thought that was just so inappropriate and so funny. Now you need something just for the screen. Contrast between you and the screen is important. Go get it keyed out well. Yeah, that's true. That's true. So dumb. How are we increasing in viewers while it's just me sitting here talking? Holy shit. Yeah, sorry to all of those that just arrived. But, I'm sorry, but we are done playing for today. Right now we're just talking a bit here. And it's annoying the shit out of me that I'm no longer in, like... I don't know. That's better. In the middle. My OCDC. OCDC! And yep, that is a towel on my table. That's about how... That's not supposed to be there, but you're gonna have to live with my mess. The Vermintide content is top tier, by the way. Many time for the stream. You're most welcome, Jack. That's very kind of you to say that. I appreciate it. I try the best I can. I watch you not for the game. Thank you, Itachi-do. It's very kind of you, my friend. Yes, yes. It's very kind of you. It's actually funny that you say that, because I used to not use a cam. Even though I had a webcam, I didn't use it for the first many videos, right? Like for half a year, I think, before I used a webcam for the first time in an actual video. And the reason I did that was because that I had sort of done a bunch of reading online on what it takes to, you know, make it on YouTube and such. You know, get into the literature, so to speak. And one inherent tip that I came across was that it's very important that you're selling yourself, not the thing you're doing. To some extent, right? That it's not enough to just be good at a game if you want it to last long term. You have to, at some point, it has to be, your personality has to come into effect, and you have to give some of yourself if you want to expect to get something back, right? And I think that really made sense. So I started, even though I was extremely uncomfortable with it at first. Okay, not gonna lie, the first time I used a cam in a video, trust me, I did the best I could to not seem like I was terrified of it, but inside I was secretly terrified of it, of clicking public, official, you know, it felt so awkward, and I was not comfortable with it at all. That's something that came, like, over time. That's something, again, that's a skill I had to learn, to just be comfortable with acting stupid on cam, for example. That's another thing. Like, once I had a cam, I immediately started to wanting to be funny. And, like, trust me, every one of those funny intros was like a step outside of my comfort zone. At least I tried to make him as such. And took, because I didn't want people to look at me as some dumb fuck. That's the truth. Again, because that's how inherently insecure with myself I was. That I was like, no, people think I'm dumb if, you know, was my inner thoughts, right? So it was hard every time to do that. And give that, get that out there. And I could imagine someone like PewDiePie even had been thinking the same at one point, right? Because again, I remember once thinking that he was, before I actually watched his stuff, I was like, PewDiePie, isn't that dumb YouTuber? My name's PewDiePie! I thought he must be stupid, right? 14-year-old me, that is. And like, I was afraid of that to some degree. But it's something you learn. Again, you gotta give some of yourself. You have to be the end product to some degree. Looking for a new gaming PC? Can you tell us about your gaming PC, CPU, and graphics card mostly? Thanks. Not overly detailed. I have a NVIDIA GeForce 10700 Ti. Did I just mix them up? Wait a sec. Let me just open. Let me just give you the proper specs, because otherwise I'm gonna screw this. It's just in case. Let's see here. Count. General. I have a GeForce GTX 1080 Ti. And an Intel Core i7 10700 CPU 3.8 gigahertz with 16 gigabyte RAMs. And yeah, that's what I have. So pretty decent. No, it's a 1080 Ti. So, but 1070 Ti is still a really good card these days. Like, the prices of graphics cards are absolutely fucking insane. Well, I was even nervous today writing in chat. Oh, don't be, man. Xandar, don't be. You're always welcome here, bro. Seem like a smart guy. You have to become the brand, not the game you're playing. Yeah, exactly. And you do a great... Oh, thank you so much, Crewmill. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. I'm glad to hear that. Render Williams, hey buddy, you know, I read that. Holy shit. Don't take this as negative, but your apartment looks like literally every studio apartment in Denmark. I know 4 people who live in apartments identical to the one you live in. Well, Chris Am, you're not entirely wrong, although I do own the apartment. I don't rent it, so it's my apartment, like actually mine, which gives me a lot more freedom than I would have otherwise. Yeah, it's insane, like the prices of graphics cards are freaking insane right now. Also, I tried to stop the stream like literally 45 minutes ago. But then I keep going on a rant here. Anyways, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much to everyone for tuning in. I really appreciate it every time. I'm surprised how many people are actually here. So thank you so much for that. I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, I'll try to stream more in the future now that I have a deal with someone to do a collab. So hopefully it shouldn't be too long before we stream again. I know I say that every time, but regardless, as soon as Chaos Waste hits, it's going to be a lot of streaming. Like that's just inherent. That's the plan. As soon as Chaos Waste hits, we're going to stream a lot more. But I'll try to also in the coming week. And yeah, as always, I love you guys.